game as Jack Butland makes an unbelievable save. Absolutely sensational save from point-blank range to keep the score. Rangers 2, Celtic 1. And Martin O'Neill on the sidelines, absolutely panicking because it's his 74th birthday today. He wants a late present, that is for sure. Brilliant cross from the right-hand side. Got to the byline. It was super delivery into the box, and I think it was Dyson Maeda who managed to steer that goalwards. And there's accusations possibly of a handball there. It'll be interesting to see what happens. The ball came across, it was headed by Maeda. Did it hit the arm of Dujon Sterling? That's what VAR will be looking at. If that is the case, then there could be a penalty late on for Celtic in the game. It was a terrific save either way from Jack Butland, who made a stunning stop. We'll have to come back and speak to Jeff in just a second. It's Game Day Live on TalkSport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Arsenal versus Chelsea live today. Search Now Sports. But next we'll be looking ahead to all three Premier League matches which begin at 2 o'clock, and they have gone to a VAR check, Jeff Peters, and this means it's probably going to be a penalty for Celtic in the 88th minute. We'll be back in just a second. I'll have a look at that decision. It's probably going to be a penalty. We'll bring that result to you in just a second. Stick with us.
Hear that? That's Cheltenham. An epic 4 days. And William Hill are making it even more epic. Available every day from 8 a.m. We're giving you 2 epic boosts. In shop and on app. This is the Cheltenham Festival with William Hill. From 8 a.m. when shops open, second from 1:30 p.m, 10th to 13th of March. Singles only, state limit supply, plus customers only in shop. One of each epic boost, 18 plus, gamble aware.
Welcome to the Speed Coaster.
With PlusNet, great broadband isn't just about award-winning routers. It's also about speed. Whoa! Before the 25th of March, whoa! Get full fibre that you can rely on with speeds up to 900 megabits available from $22.99 a month. That's a plus. $26.99 from the 31st of March 2027. New customers only. Limited availability. Terms apply.
Don't know what it's like in your house, but keeping everyone entertained can be a nightmare. Take the pressure off with EE's award-winning TV and broadband bundles with Netflix Now, TNT Sports and more. Get full fibre broadband and EE will give you their most powerful Wi-Fi 7 as standard, so everyone can stream their films, series and keep tabs on the scores at the same time. Switch to EE TV and broadband today.
New BT Group customers only. 62% UK availability. Terms apply.
Because you want a pair for work and a pair for the weekend. Because you like to leave a pair in the car. Because you can't decide which pair you like best. Because when you buy a pair of prescription glasses or sunglasses, we'll give you another pair for half price. Because of all these things, there's only one choice. Boots Opticians. See what's possible. Includes prescription glasses and sunglasses. Cheapest pair, half price. T's and C's apply.
Whether you're planning for your first home or for a dream wedding, JP Morgan Personal Investing can help you make the most of your tax-free allowances this tax year. With our intuitive app, expert support and 150 years of JP Morgan's investing experience, you can start making more informed investment decisions today. Search JP Morgan Personal Investing to learn more. Invest with clarity. Capital at risk. Tax rules vary by individual status and may change.
Full coverage Sunday. Game Day Live.
To the old firm, Jeff Peters.
It's Rangers 2, Celtic 1. Celtic have a penalty. Hatate takes it. It's saved once, it's saved twice, and Celtic have equalised in the 90th minute from the penalty spot. What a comeback in this second half. They look dead and buried, 2-0 down at half-time. It has been a hell of a second half for Martin O'Neill's side, and they are level into stoppage time. Rangers 2, Celtic 2.
What a birthday present for the Celtic manager Martin O'Neill. A brilliant save down to his right from Rio Hatate from Jack Butland. It came back to the Japanese international. He pummeled it down the middle of the goal. Butland made another save, got up brilliantly. Super goalkeeping by the Rangers goalkeeper, only for Hatate to put it in at the third attempt, Perry Groves.
What a piece of goalkeeping initially, Sam. We said there, it's a world-class save low down to his right-hand side from Butland. Then it comes back out. Hatate thinks he's going to just roll it in his empty net. Then Butland sort of reacts and he gets it with his big left arm, and it goes back to Tate. Massive sigh of relief for him, just puts it into the far corner. Celtic are back in this at 2-2, Sam, and don't rule out another goal because Celtic have been incessant in the last 20-25 minutes.
Absolutely outstanding goalkeeping, but it's Celtic who score. It's 2-2, and that makes a massive difference for Hearts, who there'll be jambos everywhere dancing through the streets of Edinburgh if it stays like this. You're listening to Game Day Live on TalkSport with me, Sam Matterface. Shortly we'll be crossing to our teams across the Premier League games that start at 2 o'clock. India against the West Indies is underway. The West Indies are 27 without loss after 16 overs remaining. That's a 1:30 start in the men's T20 World Cup. Let's get off to the game down at Brighton, because last week's win at Brentford has alleviated a bit of pressure on Fabian Hürzeler. What's the headline team news? James Filden is there for us.
Well, they've been able to keep some consistency, actually, Brighton, because the team is unchanged from that side that played and cruised, really, at Brentford last week. So for Bruggen in goal, V for Van Hecke, Duncan Cadiolo across the back, Hinshelwood, Milner and Gross the midfield three, Gomez, who scored at Brentford, Welbeck as well, and Mitoma across the front. Solly March back on the bench as well, hasn't played since April last year. As for Forest, well, their team news is interesting. It's a change in goal, actually. Matt Sells has missed the last 5 games through a groin injury, but Stefan Ortega hurt his calf in the game against Fenerbahce on Thursday. Didn't come off, but didn't look comfortable. He's not in the squad, and Sells comes back into the 11. So Sells in goal, Aina, Milinkovic, Murillo and Williams across the back, Anderson and Sangare in front, Hutchinson, Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi all playing off Igor Jesus up front. No Lorenzo Luca in the squad either today. He was awful in the first half and got pulled at half-time in that game and hasn't appeared here at all. So unchanged for Brighton and one change for Nottingham Forest.
Perry Groves, after West Ham's defeat yesterday, Forest have got the chance to move 5 points clear of them in the battle for survival. From what you've seen from Vitor Pereira's team so far, have you got any suggestion, indication as to whether you think they'll be the ones that stay up?
He's freed him up a bit, Sam, to be fair, and he obviously the first game against Fenerbahce sort of highlighted that. But you just look at this Nottingham Forest side and you just wonder where the goals are going to come from. Morgan Gibbs-White is their top scorer with 6 goals. They've not scored in 13 Premier League games this season. It's only Wolves who found scoring more. So I'm just looking at it and you think, right, who's going to sort of put their hand up, take that responsibility and be the creator?
That's a good question. We'll see what happens this afternoon as Nottingham Forest go to Brighton down at the Amex Stadium. James Filden will be there throughout the course of the afternoon. Let's head off to Scott Minto and Ollie Klink at Craven Cottage for headline team news ahead of the visit of Tottenham.
2 changes for Spurs from their heavy defeat in the North London derby. Igor Tudor bringing in Pedro Porro and Dominic Solanke into the starting 11. Jed Spence misses out altogether while Pat Sarr drops to the bench. As for the home side, also 2 changes from their win over Sunderland. Issa Diop comes in for Joachim Andersen at the back while Kevin misses out through injury, so Oscar Bobb makes his first Premier League start for Fulham.
Scott Minto is alongside you. Do Spurs just need to focus on themselves when it comes to their predicament, Scott, instead of looking at the results of the likes of West Ham and Forest? I know it's very difficult to do that if you're in a relegation battle.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. But it's not easy. They haven't been doing very well, have they? But concentrating on themselves, and obviously that's why Igor Tudor has come in. And look, Ollie and I were both said to each other, giving each other a little nudge. Look at him. He's right in the middle of where the warm-up was. He's almost staring them down, saying, are you up for it? Is your attitude right? He's already talked about how, yeah, he has run them, and a lot of it is without the ball. And ask any footballer, no one really likes that. But I don't think it was just from a physical point of view to put petrol in the tank, as he said in his presser. I think it's almost an attitude thing as well. Are you willing to do the hard work? Are you willing to sacrifice yourself? Are you willing to do something that you don't really want to do? And look, we'll have to wait and see. I think what he said about it being the most difficult job that he's had so far, I'm not sure that the Spurs fans would be over delighted to hear that. I mean, he's managed Juventus as a firefighter, and look at how big that club is. And he's also said against the biggest rivals in the world, or the biggest team they had last week in the world. Again, I'm not sure the Spurs fans would be overly happy to hear that, but he's brutal, he's honest, and I like the look of him when he talks. You feel like, actually, yeah, he's going to lead me, and now am I going to follow and be that soldier? And I thought it was fascinating absolutely fascinating when he was asked about has he got enough soldiers by Tom Barkley, and he said, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see.
Let's go off to the Old Firm because it's finished, and it's finished with tempers being frayed. Jeff Peters.
Wow, Rangers 2, Celtic 2. What a comeback for Celtic. The cliched game of two halves. They snatched a point thanks to Rio Hatate's 90th minute penalty. Jack Butland saved it. He also saved the rebound, but the Japanese midfielder at the third attempt was able to get it over the line. Kieran Tierney had pulled one back 11 minutes into the second half. It was all Rangers in the first half. They were excellent. Yusuf Chimiti with a couple of goals, his 8th and 9th in the league this season, his 3rd and 4th against Celtic this season, the first, and a wonderful acrobatic overhead kick. But then at half-time, Martin O'Neill on his 74th birthday made some changes, and it really lifted them so much. That first half, they had, I think, 1 or 2 shots. Second half, 16 shots, 7 on target. They absolutely dominated it, and they deservedly got back into it through Tierney. They had other chances, McCowan, Murray heading over, and then came the penalty decision. Maida's header saved by Butland, but it caught Sterling's hand on the way. Referee John Beaton went to the monitor, decided it was a penalty. Hatate got it in at the third attempt, and there are 2,000 odd Celtic fans in Ibrox, and they are the ones celebrating, because if you look at the top of the Scottish Premiership table, Hearts on 63, it's Rangers on 57, Celtic 55 with a game in hand, and then Motherwell on 53. What a turnaround. It's finished Rangers 2, Celtic 2.
Absolutely, what a turnaround, what a brilliant football match, and Martin O'Neill at the end having to separate the Celtic and Rangers players, acting like peacemaker. It was like your granddad going down to the playground in his tracksuit, just turning around and telling everybody to calm down. It was brilliant. It then went over to the Celtic supporters and waved at them right at the very end. But you can tell what it means to Celtic, because it just about keeps their title hopes alive. If they'd lost this, Perry Groves, it probably would have been over for them.
Yeah, it would have been over, Sam. As you said there, it just keeps that sort of candle flickering. I wonder if Danny Rowe in his press conference will say that Martin O'Neill got his team selection right in the second half. Do you know what I mean? So, bit of a mistake
the war
there,
of the
Martin.
words before the game was quite interesting, and Martin did rise to the bait, didn't he? He seized on that.
Yeah, well, you have to say, I think bringing on Hatate at half-time, he made a massive difference, because first half, Celtic had no energy, they had no shots on target. Second half, completely different side, and Hatate will have a massive sigh of relief, because the 2 saves, Sam, from the penalty from Jack Butland were out of this. Honestly, they were out of this. He saved from the handball, which obviously they ended up giving when they looked at the monitor, when I think it was Maida's header and Sterling, it was his trailing arm, wasn't it, up in the air. They gave the penalty. So he made 3 world-class saves in the space of, a minute of, real time, and he ends up conceding the goal. So sometimes football's not fair, but it was a brilliant, especially the second half. That was a proper Old Firm derby in that second half.
Oh, it certainly was. It was absolutely brilliant. And Hearts lead the title race by 6 points. Celtic do have a game in hand. They're 7 points back. They can close that to 4, but it's still a healthy advantage for Hearts at the top of the table. It's been a healthy start for Michael Carrick at Manchester United, almost faultless in fact. The club unbeaten in 10 Premier League games. He has 16 points from a possible 18 in his 6 games in charge. So, who is part of his master plan today? Headline Team News comes from Mickey Gray.
Well, 5 goals in 6 for informed Benjamin Sesko, and he does start today, Sam, in one change for Michael Carrick's United from their 1-0 win against Everton on Monday, replacing Ahmed, who moves to the bench. One change for Glasnow's Palace from their midweek victory in Europe on Thursday. Brennan Johnson, who United fans will remember from the Europa League final back in May, scoring the goal for Tottenham to win that trophy. He comes in, and Evan Gessand moves to the bench. We're about a minute and a half away from kickoff. I think you can hear the noise in the background. Hopefully a great game. United against Palace.
Mickey, in the last 7 seasons, United have lost more Premier League home games against Crystal Palace than any other Premier League team. What is it about Palace that seems to cause United problems at Old Trafford, and can they continue to do that today?
Well, I just think United haven't been very good, Sam. I think that it just boils down to that. There's a lot of sides that came to Old Trafford and won football matches, but they have won 4 of the last 6. So it does say something. I mean, Mateta obviously is not part of the Palace starting 11 or the squad today. We know what the situation is with him, but it gives Strand Larsen an opportunity to start scoring goals for Crystal Palace in the Premier League. But they've got a threat. They've brought in pace with Johnson down that left-hand side and Ismail Assar on the right-hand side. So United are going to be after. They're going to be after like they were against Everton in midweek, because that was a tough battle. It wasn't a pretty performance, but Michael's record at Old Trafford has been absolutely sensational. He only knows how to win here, and I think they'll be expecting that today to try and put pressure on Aston Villa and jump into that third spot.
Yeah, did need a couple of late goals though recently just to get over the line. They needed a late equaliser against West Ham United. They needed a late winner the other day as well against Everton. It'll be interesting to see how they get on today against Crystal Palace, because they're another one of those teams that likes to sit deep, and the onus will be on Manchester United to break them down. We're back with Perry Groves, with Scott Minto, with Mickey Gray, and with the rest of our reporters taking you around the grounds on this Sunday afternoon. We've got 4 big Premier League games to keep you in touch with today, and we've got all the fallout from Rangers Celtic as well on Game Day Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. If you want to get in touch and you're a Rangers or a Celtic fan, you can WhatsApp us. It's 03717 223344. You can text us 81089. You've shared the points, but where does it leave you in the title race? Hearts 6 points clear of Rangers. Are they going to cling on at the summit and win and be the first outside of the Old Firm to win the Scottish title for 41 years? Will there be some of you a little bit annoyed, Rangers fans, about the award of the penalty? I mean, was Dujon Sterling a little bit too close to be penalised in those circumstances? 03717 223344. That's the number to WhatsApp us on. We would love to hear from you on TalkSport, and we'll be taking you around the grounds from now until 6:30.
Hear that? That's Cheltenham. An epic 4 days. And William Hill are making it even more epic. Available every day from 8 a.m. We're giving you 2 epic boosts. In shop and on app. This is the Cheltenham Festival with William Hill. From 8 a.m. when shops open. Second from 1:30 p.m. 10th to 13th of March. Singles only. State limit supply. Plus customers only in shop. One of each epic boost. 18 plus. Gamble aware.
Sunday Game Day Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. Have a bet, take a punt, have a bet, bet, bet. Have a bet, take a punt, have a bet, bet, bet. Have a bet, take a punt, have a bet, bet, bet. Have a punt, have a bet, bet, bet. Enough! If you feel it's time to take a break from gambling, TalkSport Bet have the tools you need. Like time alerts to remind you how long you've been playing. Or self-exclusion. Make sure you're in control of your gambling, not the other way round. Find out more at safergambling.talksportbet.com.
Summer is calling. Book early for your trip to Turkey and get the most out of your holiday. Visit goturkeyair.com now and discover unforgettable experiences. Plan your summer getaway to Turkey today.
At AJ Bell, we believe every customer deserves brilliant service, which is just one reason we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. And we all trust pilots, with their smooth, captainy voices that make you feel like you'd let them land anywhere they like. Sorry, where was I? Right, AJ Bell, rated excellent by sexy pilots. I mean Trustpilot. I'm a flight risk. AJ Bell, feel good investing. The value of your investments can go up or down.
Yorkshire Tea, where everything's done proper. Yorkshire Tea, brew strength made at your own discretion. Boiled water not included. Or mugs, milk in second, always. For exceptions visit, no chance. Not ever, ever. Best stir clockwise, except on Tuesdays. Can accept no responsibility for squeezed tea bags left on countertop. Refer to box for details. Best stirred with a spoon, not your finger. May be enjoyed outside Yorkshire. Sheep on front of box not included. Nor is small cottage, nor is Sky. We don't know what the cricket score was. For best results, drink. May contain hot liquid. Whew, blimey.
Sport. It's in your DNA. That's why at SpreadX Sports, you get great offers and features to aid your sports betting, including £30 in free bets when you join and place a qualifying £10 fixed odds bet at minimum odds of 1 to 2. Visit spreadx.com/DNA for full terms and conditions. SpreadX Sports. It's in our DNA. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Qualifying bets cannot be cashed out early. Once settled, get 3 free £10 fixed odds bets on consecutive days. Free bet stakes not included in any winnings. Free bets must be claimed within 28 days.
Sunday Game Day Live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham vs Spurs live today. Search Now Sports. 18 plus for via internet. Terms apply.
On DAB, online and on your smart speaker. Talk Sport. Talk Sport on DAB, online, on your mobile. Game day live.
Every goal from every game that matters.
Scores by satellite.
The goals,
The gasps.
the groans,
The gamesmanship.
in one light-speed Sunday afternoon supernova.
Sunday Game Day live on Talk Sport.
This is Game Day live on TalkSport as we take you around the grounds on a Sunday afternoon. We're live at the Emirates ahead of another huge contest in the title race. There are 3 other Premier League games, Super League, T20 World Cup matches, an old firm game that could have a massive influence on the destination of the title. So keep it here. We'll bring you every big moment as it breaks. And there's already been a big moment at Old Trafford. Mickey Gray.
Well, listen to this. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1, and it's Maxence Lacroix with the goal. It's a corner from Crystal Palace, who've started the game brightly. It's floated towards the back post. Unmarked Lacroix just heads the ball and guides it into the far corner past Seny Lamens in that Manchester United goal. Worst start for United, but Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1.
It was poor defending from the corner. Maxence Lacroix has only scored 3 goals this season, 2 of them in the last 4 days. He scored against Zrinjski Mostar in midweek. They know he's a threat, and they completely left him at the far post. Perry Groves.
Sam, what did I say before? Defending isn't art. What is Euro doing, by the way? Just look at the ball, look at the flight of the ball. Don't worry about where Lacroix's going, and then you've got a chance to header it. He just turns around. Lacroix just sort of pushes him away. He does like a full 360. Don't know where Lacroix is. It's a really good header from Lacroix back to where the ball came from, the direction of the corner. And Manchester United don't ever be on and have no one on the post. So defending there, that wasn't an art. That was a fight. They were so bad defensively.
And they've got more away wins than most teams at Old Trafford in the last few years. Crystal Palace, and they lead by 1-0 at Old Trafford. Any early chances at Craven Cottage? TalkSport's Ollie Klink.
5 minutes gone, Fulham 0, Tottenham 0. No clear-cut chances as of yet. Spurs with most of the ball so far, but Fulham have grown into this one and they've just won a corner over on the left-hand side. Dominic Solanke and Pedro Porro in from the off for Spurs today. They sit just 4 points above the drop zone, while Fulham could end the day 8th if they win by 2 goals or more. Issa Diop and Oscar Bob in for them as that corner is cleared. Early stages here, 5 gone, Fulham 0, Tottenham 0.
Spurs in a back 4 today as well, and Archie Gray's playing left back. Poor kid's played everywhere apart from his most natural position since he moved to Tottenham Hotspur. What about what's happening at the Amex Stadium? James Fielden.
Yeah, lively start here. 5 gone, Brighton 0, Nottingham Forest 0, but chances for both sides at either end. First for Forest, who started the better of the 2 sides, as Brighton come forward here through Gomez. Welbeck on the edge of the box, but somehow Forest managed to scramble to clear. Just stay with me as Gomez fires in the shot. Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Diego Gomez! The Paraguayan netted with a stunner at Brentford last week. And here he's sat up for him so nicely and just hit through the ball true. A cross goal, and Sells on his return today got a hand to it, but he couldn't keep it out, and Gomez fires into the corner for his 5th Premier League goal this season. And the Amex, at least 3 sides of it on their feet. That was a fine hit there by the wide man, who's enjoying his life right now. I'm just going to tell you about the Forest chance they had at the other end. It was a corner from the right, taken short by Hutchinson, back to the edge of the box, but he couldn't fire it past the goalkeeper for Bruggen. And Gomez has taken his chance at the other end, and with 6.5 minutes gone, it's Brighton 1, Forest 0.
Crystal Palace lead at Old Trafford by 1-0 after just 7 minutes of the game. Brighton 1-0 up against Nottingham Forest. Diego Gomez with the goal there, and a goal at Craven Cottage for TalkSport's Ollie Klink.
It's Fulham 1, Tottenham 0 with 7 minutes gone. Harry Wilson with a wonderful finish inside the box. It was an early cross from Kenny Tete from the right-hand side, flicked on by Raul Jimenez, couldn't quite get the connection he wanted. It fell for Oscar Bob on the left-hand side, who lifted it back in, and there was Wilson with a thumping volley from 6 yards out to put Fulham in front, and it's more problems for Tottenham, Scott Minto.
Or are they in front, Ollie? Because VAR are having a look at this. The ball came in from the right-hand side, as you say. And Jimenez comes into the back of Dragusin. His arms are definitely up, there's no doubt about it, and he does kind of make contact. I mean, I want my centre-half to be stronger than that. I personally don't think there's enough in there, but there's no doubt about it. He's got both arms up, he's gone into the back of Dragusin, he's gone to Oscar Barbus, who's played it back first time. Harry Wilson's done really well, great technique to keep it down, hit the back of the net.
So they are still checking for that potential push from Raul Jimenez, and the goal is given. And I've got to say, Scott, if you were a Tottenham fan and you saw that decision in the North London derby last week when Gabriel was pushed to the floor, both are soft, but I'd be fuming that one's been given and the one against Gabriel was.
I take your point, Ollie, but I do think there was more of a push last week than that one. I think there were arms up, and there's absolutely, if they wanted to go down the route of, well, you shouldn't be doing that, and he's definitely made contact with him from behind. I don't think there's enough in that. And we're talking about VAR. We can talk for hours and days and weeks and months about it. I just want the lightest touch, and for that, I don't think that's enough, a clear and obvious error to say that should not be allowed.
A very stern Igor Tudor on the touchline. His side are behind early on. 9 minutes gone. Fulham 1, Tottenham 0.
Yeah, and also there's two more chances to defend that before the ball hits the back of the net, and Tottenham don't do that either. I thought Dragusin could have been a lot stronger. Perry Groves, what was your view?
100%, Sam, it's a foul. It's no different to the one with Gabriel last week. It's exactly the same. With Jimenez, he's put both his arms in his back. You can be stronger, but he's pushed him off balance. If he doesn't put his arms in his back, Dragusin heads the ball. So what we want is consistency, and there's no consistency. So I'm with Ol. If the Spurs fans will be absolutely fuming, thinking, hold on a minute, Gabriel gets away with one because he over-exaggerates, like he's been let out of a parachute, and that one doesn't get given. So you've got to have consistency.
Calvin Bassey at the same ground earlier in the season when Manchester United were there was given, and so you're right about the lack of consistency. That is for sure. I think if you look at it again, the amount of power in Raul Jimenez's hands is not enough to off-balance Radu Dragusin as much as it did. He needs to be. I think he was going to misread the flight of the ball anyway. To be honest with you,
Jackson's in the air.
Talking about misreading the flight of the ball, Matt Sells should never be beaten from the corner of the penalty area on the volley into the far corner. What happened there?
I just thought it was a brilliant volley from Gomez. I thought the technique was fantastic as the ball just sat up and he sort of cut across it. So I don't know if Sells was, sort of unsighted, but you just have to say we've just seen two brilliant volleys. The first one from Harry Wilson, which brilliant technique, which was sort of waist height, and the next one from Gomez, where it's just he let the ball drop and he's cut across it. I think we should be lauding the technique rather than maybe just having a little look at Sells, because we don't know if he was unsighted or not.
OK, let's go off to the Old Firm. What happened earlier on today, Jeff Peters?
Finish Rangers 2, Celtic 2, a pulsating contest. What a comeback from Celtic. Rangers coasting thanks to Chimiti's first half double, but Rio Hatate's introduction at the break was crucial. Tierney's 56-minute header made them believe they had so many chances, and then at the death, Sterling punished for handball. Hatate's penalty saved by Butland, the first rebound also saved, but eventually turned home. Happy birthday, Martin O'Neill, but it's leaders' hearts who are celebrating most at the final score of Rangers 2, Celtic 2.
Let's speak to Sean McDonald, who is the host of the Blethered podcast and big Celtic fan, and Gary Ollison from the Sun newspaper, who's a big Rangers fan. Hello, boys.
Hi, how are you doing? Hello, boys.
Thank you very much for joining us. You've been covering the goal for TalkSport Goals on the YouTube channel. The Chimiti scissor kick opened the scoring today, and it was absolutely sensational, Gary. He's had a lot of stick, hasn't he, since moving for 10 million quid. But how does the song go?
I'm not actually sure how the song goes. No, he has been fantastic, and he scored some amazing big goals for us. But initially at the beginning of the season, he really did struggle. So he scored big goals, but we just couldn't hang on.
The song that Sam was talking about is 8 million down the drain. Chimiti scores again, by the way. Sure. Sorry, I'm moving on.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll get somebody else to fill it in for you.
Thank you, Sean.
But obviously, Sean, the second half performance from Celtic was so good it must give you a little bit of hope in the title race. Do you still think it's alive? Because if you win your game in hand, there's just 4 points between you and Hearts.
I think so, yeah. The dream never dies, as I was saying earlier, but I think something that is often missed when the Scottish League is viewed through the English gaze is that we have the split where the top 6 then go and play each other, and that becomes a very difficult run-in, and it does become a bit of a lottery. You know, each team, Celtic, Rangers and Hearts, have kind of been getting in their own way for a lot of the time this season, and there are no guaranteed, or there's no team that's really gone in that 7, 8, 9, 10 game winning run which ultimately wins your league, and that's where I think it then comes down to a wee bit of a lottery. But that second half performance, after it being so insipid, turgid and passive, Celtic were just absolutely, they were pulsating and they were incredible. It wasn't flawless, but it was more used to, or more like the Celtic that we've come to know over years, and it looked to me like a Martin O'Neill team. So that's going to be a huge psychological boost to Celtic as this sort of, we get into this run in. And yeah, Hearts, obviously it's advantageous for them, and they're ultimately the main beneficiaries of that draw. But I think they're also going to be looking at that and thinking, for Celtic to go to Ibrox and to take a point in those circumstances is just fantastic.
Sean, I've got to interrupt you because there's a goal at the Amex. Talk Sports. James Fielding is there.
We've had some crackers already this afternoon. Another one here. 13 gone. Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 1. And a beautiful move by Forest down the left-hand side. Combination between Callum Hudson-Odoi and Igor Jesus, right on the same wavelength as they let the ball go from one to the other. And then it came across the penalty area from Igor Jesus, who sprinted down the left-hand side to Morgan Gibbs-White, the Forest talisman, who took a touch. The ball sat up for him. He hit it true. It flew high over the goalkeeper for Bruggen, who was not stopping that. It swerved, it moved, it dipped. It might have taken a tiny deflection as well. Either way, into the back of the net it goes. Just trying to see if it got a nick. Maybe it didn't. It was spinning and curling away, but Bruggen couldn't stop it. And we're level here. It's now Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
That is a sensational goal from Morgan Gibbs-White. 1-1, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Fulham 1, Spurs 0, Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1, and Perry Groves, just very quickly, that was some hit.
So won't it be fun if all these teams been doing crossing and shooting and finishing this week? Remember last Sunday we couldn't get a goal at all, could we? And the goals
we got to half-time last week in 3 games and it was 0-0.
Is that, honestly, the goals have been unbelievable. You know, we said about Forest with their creativity. Igor Jesus does brilliantly on the touchline where he just lets it roll across his body, and then you think, right, can you pick up the right pass from the left-hand side? He just rolls it into Morgan Gibbs-White. His first touch is really good because then it sits up, and because it's set up, that means he can sort of get a volley, and he just smashed it past.
Stop you there because there's another goal down at the Amex, James Fielding.
Goal for Brighton. They're back in front just a minute after Forest were level. It's Danny Welbeck, their top Premier League scorer this season. What a campaign he's having. He's now equalled his best ever return in the league, and Forest will be kicking themselves here. They've done so well to get back into it, but Brighton came forward. It was slotted into the left channel to Pascal Gross, out to the left wing, swung in first time by Mitoma, headed down by Hinchinwood on the right. Welbeck took it on the thigh, got his yard, managed to turn swivel and fired it into the corner. Not the return to action Matt Sells would have wanted. He's conceded twice here in the opening 15 minutes, and the Seagulls have swooped to go back in front. 15 minutes gone, Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
He's always looking so lively inside the penalty area, and whilst the others were sleeping, Murillo in particular, he was alert to it. He touched it with his left thigh, he took it round the corner, he turned, he swiveled, he smashed it home, and Danny Welbeck has put Brighton back in front, Perry Groves.
I think it's a little bit rude from Danny Welbeck to be Sam, because I was just going through the worldie that Gibbs-White scored, so but what brilliant play. Is that a typical Brighton goal? When it gets moved to the left-hand side, good play in midfield, heads it back to Danny Welbeck, and it's this Danny Welbeck. There's a player that is very, very experienced and knows exactly what he's doing. You can tell that he's calm. As you said there, Sam, the ball just flips up off his thigh, then swivels in one movement and just smash it past Sells, give him absolutely no chance. What a game they've got going on at the Amex.
Absolutely, and what a game we had earlier on. Rangers 2, Celtic 2. Gary Ollison from the Sun newspaper, big Rangers fan and Celtic fan. Sean McDonald, host of the Blethered podcast, are in the studio just to review it. Just very quickly on the title race. Rangers now 6 points behind leaders' hearts. Celtic 2 points further back with a game in hand. Just a quick word then on what you think the rest of the season looks like. Gary, let's start with you. Danny Roll obviously only came in halfway through the season. Has he got what he needs to be able to challenge Hearts at the end of the campaign? Because as you've already pointed out, with the split, there's more tough games to come.
I think Danny Roll's definitely got what he needs to do it, and I think we should have got the job done today. It was very, very disappointing at the end there. 3 points there would have been massive. I think we can do it, but after the split we've got to go to Celtic Park, we've got to go to Tynecastle, we've got to go there and win, and we've got to go and win all our other games pretty much, I think. And we struggle on the road. We've had so many ridiculous drop points on the road this season. I want us to go and do it, but I'm worried about us having to go to Celtic Park and Tynecastle, I must be honest.
Was it a penalty, do you think?
Yeah, I do actually. I didn't initially, as Sean will confirm. I was adamant that it wasn't, but there was one angle, and I think it was the angle they showed the referee, and it did look like a penalty.
By the way, how unlucky was Jack Butland, by the way? He pulls a weldy from the save, from the header, then he's 2 weldies from the penalty. He's like, as a panic up.
And he was really let down by his defenders.
Yeah.
There's 2 Celtic players on it, like a flash, and there was no Rangers defender, so his defenders did him a disservice because he was brilliant.
I think that was indicative of Rangers' second half performance in general. They just seemed a wee bit passive after being really on top of Celtic, very physical that first half. It was as if there was a sort of tacit acceptance that, you know, the tie is over, that we're not going to take something. You know what it's like psychologically, that gets into the opposition's head as well. Do
you think Martin O'Neill picked the wrong side in the first half? Because Tete made a... Because Danny Roll had a little pop on him.
Well, maybe. I think when you're looking at... When I saw the team, I thought, OK, well, he's obviously seen the team in training. I expected more from Oxlade-Chamberlain, but again, listen, he's not the first and he's not the last that will come up from England with a huge reputation and be maybe overawed by the occasion, because it's an atmosphere and an intensity like no other, and it's very quick paced and frenetic. He made the changes at half time, and when I saw Tunetke and Hatate warming up before the half time whistle's gone, I felt quite optimistic. I felt energised and invigorated by that.
Sean, Gary, thank you very much.
Cheers,
have a good rest of the afternoon. They shared the spoils in the Old Firm game. 2-2 it finished Rangers Celtic earlier on today. Rio Hatate scoring from the penalty, missing from the penalty spot, and then scoring on the rebound late on, securing the draw. Karen Matoma's just gone through one-on-one with the goalkeeper Matt Sells down at the Amex Stadium, and Matt Sells has made a big save. It's 2-1 to Brighton. Fulham lead Spurs by 1-0. So what's happening at Old Trafford, Mickey Gray?
20 minutes on the clock. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1, and Crystal Palace deserved to be in front. Manchester United, for the first 20 minutes, they've been terrible, Sam. They're doing this rotation of the front four up front, and it's not working for them. They can't get in behind Crystal Palace, and they're giving the ball away so much. Diogo Dalot has been really terrible in the first 20 minutes. Him and Lenny Yoro looks a little bit nervy for Manchester United. Crystal Palace, to their credit, they've passed it around. They've got it behind United. Could have doubled their lead. Ismail Assar stung the hands of Seny Lammers in that Manchester United goal. They're calm, they're collected, and there's a few murmurs here, but they need to improve. United. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1.
In the Fulham-Tottenham match, the referee's call of goal was checked and confirmed by VAR, which deemed the contact by Raul Jimenez on Radu Dragusin did not meet the threshold for a foul. It then flicked behind Dragusin, then was sent back across the face of goal, where from Harry Wilson volleyed into the net to give Fulham the lead. Scott Minto and Ollie Klink can tell us what's happened since then.
Yeah, 20 minutes gone, Fulham 1, Tottenham 0. Not much of a response from Spurs since that opener from Wilson. João Palhinha saw a shot from range, deflected behind on his first game back at Craven Cottage since leaving the club. As for Fulham, wonderful from Harry Wilson just now. Brought it down brilliantly inside the box, scooped it back across goal as Dominic Solanke comes forward now for Tottenham in a rare attack, with the ball's nicked off him by Emile Smith-Rowe. Look, Scott, Spurs started quite brightly. They faded since that opener from Harry Wilson, but I do want your thoughts on that statement from the PGMOL, mainly because there were 2 hands in the back, so how can it not be at that threshold?
I'm slightly concerned. I agree with him. I don't think there was enough contact, I think if you compare the one, and you're right, it's a really good point and to compare. I think if you look at the 2 with Gabriel, there was a clear and heavy push on him for me that made a big difference. I think Dragusin got under the ball. I think even if the push wasn't there, that he probably wouldn't have been able to get the header away. I definitely don't think there was enough contact there. So, look, I think that's going to be a sort of a 50-50, very subjective thing. But if it is, then don't rule it out, because that's what we want from VAR, the lightest touch.
I think that point you made, Sam, about consistency is the main issue there. 21 minutes gone, still Fulham 1, Tottenham 0.
Right, OK, let's go back off to the Amex Stadium, James Fieldham. Apart from the fact that we've had 3 goals and 2 of them been absolute worldies, what else has happened in the first 21 minutes?
Yeah, it's Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Gomez with the first, Gibbs White with the equaliser, and then a minute and 45 seconds later, Welbeck putting Brighton back in front, and Brighton could have extended their lead after that as well. Lovely 1-2 between Karo Mitoma and Danny Welbeck on the edge of the box. Mitoma, though, couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet. Did manage to get the strike away, but it was blocked well by the chest of Sells. But this is a really open, expansive game for both teams, being played at a great pace as well, and long may that continue. It is the first Premier League game with 3 goals in the first 15 minutes since Palace took on Arsenal back in December 2024, and you have to say you can see more goals coming in this one, because neither side defending particularly well and both forward lines looking up for it. We've played 22 minutes, Brighton 2, Forest 1.
Luke Shaw's got a bit of a problem at Old Trafford. We'll check in with Mickey Gray very shortly. Currently Manchester United 0, Palace 1, Fulham 1, Spurs 0, Brighton 2, Forest 0, Rangers 2, Celtic 2. Full-time score from the Scottish Premiership. This is TalkSport. We're taking you back around the grounds next.
Hear that? That's Cheltenham. An epic 4 days. And William Hill are making it even more epic. Available every day from 8 a.m. We're giving you 2 epic boosts. In shop and on app. This is the Cheltenham Festival with William Hill. From 8 a.m. when shops open, second from 1:30 p.m, 10th to 13th of March, singles only, state limit supply, plus customers only in shop, 1 of each epic boost, 18 plus, gamble aware.
The Randox Grand National Festival 2026. This is more than a race. It's tradition, it's heart, it's passion. From the 9th to the 11th of April, 3 days of pure exhilaration, fearless style and unforgettable stories. This isn't just something to watch, it's something to experience. Tickets on sale now for Opening Day, Ladies' Day and Grand National Day. Search Randox Grand National. Be part of sport's greatest story.
On TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Arsenal versus Chelsea live today. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18 plus, begambleaware.org.
People ask me, what's my good place? Sunday lunch with the whole family. And knowing that because I'm over 55, I can withdraw from my pension pot with a few taps on the Pension Bee app. Ollie, are you feeding the dog?
No. At Pension Bee, we believe that when your pension is in a good place, you're in a good place. Download the Pension Bee app and be pension confident. When investing, your capital is at risk. Withdrawals available from the age of 55, 57 from 2028.
The Philly cheese stack is back at McDonald's and it's still intensely cheesy. Imagine the cheesiest thing ever. Now cover it in cheese. Add 2 beef patties, cheddar cheese sauce, crispy onions, and even more cheese. The Philly cheese stack. Did we mention it's cheesy? Available until the 16th of March 2026 from 11 a.m. Fees apply to delivery orders. Price and participation may vary, subject to availability.
Sport. It's in your DNA. And at SpreadX Sports, we want you to gamble responsibly. Set sportsbook deposit limits to help stay in control of your spending. Use our handy fixed odds timeout feature, which allows you to take a break when you need it. At SpreadX Sports, our safer gambling tools are designed to let you play within your limits and gamble responsibly. Visit spreadx.com/DNA. SpreadX Sports. It's in our DNA. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Sunday Game Day Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Your Tuesday night with a tense championship tussle on TalkSport 2. The Tractor Boys take on the Tigers, plowing in with big match build-up from 7:30 with live commentary of Ipswich versus Hull from 7:45. On target Tuesday night championship football on TalkSport 2.
Yes, hello, you're listening to Game Day Live on TalkSport with me, Sam Matterface, across the sporting world. Today, it's Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 1, Tottenham 0. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1, and Arsenal-Chelsea kicks off at 4:30. Rangers 2, Celtic 2. South Africa won by 5 wickets in the T20 World Cup. Zimbabwe were their opponents today. They were already eliminated. West Indies 95 for 1 with 9 overs remaining against India. India must win that game today to get through to the semi-finals of the competition. The Bradford Bulls take on Toulouse. That's at 3 o'clock this afternoon. 2 promoted teams involved. Let's have a look at the latest odds, all thanks to Betfair.
Odds update on TalkSport with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
It's currently Manchester United 0 at Crystal Palace 1. Manchester United to come back and win the game, which doesn't look very likely the way they're playing at the moment. 13-8. The draw is 9-4 and Palace is 6-4. It's currently Fulham 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. And Fulham doing very well. 9-4 on to win the game. The draw 16-5. Spurs 6-1 outsiders to come back and win that match. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1. This game is not over, and Brighton look as if they're purring going forward. 9-4 on to win the game, 16-5 the draw, 13-2 for Forest to come back and win it. That's all thanks to Betfair. 18 plus, speak gambleaware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Mickey Gray is up at Old Trafford, and Mickey, Benjamin Šeško, the super sub, he's come off the bench in the last 4 games for Manchester United. He's scored in 3 of those. This is his first start under Michael Carrick, but I just wonder whether or not him being included in the team today has just disrupted things up top.
Well, he's hardly been involved in the game, Sam, but I don't think it's down to him. I think it's a build-up play from Manchester United. This is as bad as I've seen them play. And I bring Ruben Amorim into this conversation as well. They've given the ball away so much. It's unrecognisable from the 5-6 games that Michael Carrick's been in charge of Manchester United. They've not really created anything in the final third. I'll bring Dalot up again. I don't know if he's had a couple of nights out or what, but he has given the ball away every single time he's had it. He's been terrible. And what they're doing is they're putting Strand Larsen up against Lenny Yoro, and he's frightened to death, Yoro, because Strand Larsen's winning everything. Crystal Palace have been great, zipping the ball around. They're comfortable, they're playing it around, they deserve to be in front. But it's flat in here today, Sam. And thinking about that result from Wolves-Aston Villa on Friday night, you would think it would give them that little bit of bite to say, right, OK, we've got a chance of being third in the Premier League. Well, they need to get going because they've been terrible so far. That's why United are losing 1-0 to Crystal Palace.
Palace is pressing from the front, causing Manchester United problems. They have had an issue with Luke Shaw as well, who's been substituted and replaced by Nusair Mazraoui in the first 25 minutes of the game. They're going to have to improve as the game goes on, because at the moment they just don't seem to be able to get going. And over the last few weeks they've been particularly impressive under Michael Carrick, although those late goals, as we said a little bit earlier on, have been saving face a little bit as well. Let's go off to Craven Cottage, where Fulham are in front against Tottenham Hotspur. Any sign of a response? Scott Minto and Ollie Klink.
Almost half an hour gone. Fulham 1, Tottenham 0. Spurs are trying their best to get back into this, Sam. They've had plenty of the ball and almost put together a lovely move just now with the ball fizz wide to Porro on the right. He played it first time to Kolo Muani inside the box on the right hand side, but in came Issa Diop with a crunching tackle to stop him dead. Really good defending. Scott, what have you made of Tottenham so far? Because Fulham, you could argue, despite the fact they have the lead, haven't quite been at their best, but it still seemed fairly comfortable.
Yeah, it's almost as if they don't necessarily have to play well to be a difficult side to play against. And obviously we know the form that Spurs are in and the fragile mentality they've got. It's interesting he's gone with a 4 today, and it's really, you know, if you really try to study what sort of formation they're playing, it's almost like a 4 and then Paulinho in front, and then there's a 3, and then there's Dominic Solanke just off Kolo Muani. So it's a difficult one to try and describe. It's not working yet. They haven't had a shot on target. Mind you, the only shot on target Fulham have been the goal. So it's been one of those, a lot of midfield play without too many clear-cut chances.
And I think there's been moments, Scott, too, where Spurs have just been sloppy. We've seen Vicario kick the ball straight out of play. They've made some poor passes in the centre of the park too, and they look like a side that are really lacking confidence.
Yeah, we saw just Dragusin here, didn't we, where he was winning the ball and actually thinking he'd just help it on down the line, and he just hoofed it 50 yards. It went straight to Bernd Leno, and I'm thinking, well, you're just giving the ball back. There's no confidence at all at the moment, so it's almost it's not as if they're not trying, but when you are lacking in confidence, you don't necessarily want the ball in certain situations. You look for the easy ball, maybe the longer one rather than a shorter one. Someone needs to come up with something special. It's not happening at the moment.
Half an hour gone, still Fulham 1, Tottenham 0.
Fulham are the only team to win every Premier League game this season against the current bottom 5. Elliot Anderson has been Forest's standout player so far this season, top of the Premier League rankings for midfielders in successful passes, possession won, duels won, touches, and now he's got a card for simulation, James Fielden.
Yeah, he has. He was going on one of his jinking runs forward, twisting and turning on the edge of the box, and just twisted back onto his left-hand side. And it was actually a bit of a reckless challenge that came in from Diego Gomez, who swiped through the air to try and win the ball, but he missed it. And Anderson went over the foot and dived into the box, and Andy Madley, the referee, booked him for diving. Quite rightly, it was a good call by the referee. We have just got a hold-up at the moment because Matt Sells is feigning injury, so all the Forest players coming over here to have a little bit of a team talk with Vitor Pereira. Sells got to watch himself, of course. He's only just back from injury. Hopefully he's okay, but I think we can safely say he's all right. Went down, got back up again, then went down when the ball went dead and out of play. Anyway, we are back underway. There was a great chance for Brighton previously as well. Mats Wiefer made a great run from right back into midfield, was played forward by Gomez on halfway. He carried it and no one was really making themselves available. I don't think he quite knew how much space he had ahead of himself there, and eventually urged by the crowd to shoot, he did, but never really looked comfortable, and it was an easy save for Sells. We are just back underway here. Sells recovered. Forest have some instructions given to them. We'll see if they can respond, but at the moment 31 minutes played, the goals have dried up. It's only Brighton 2, Forest 1.
Yeah, it might be a tactical timeout that Matt Sells going down with an injury. Angus Gunn did get his bib on to go and warm up, but he didn't bother taking his big stadium jacket off, which sort of gives you an indication of the issue or lack of. Manchester United had a chance with Harry Maguire cleared from in front of the goalkeeper by Ismaila Sarr. That came from a corner just moments ago. They've had a little bit more enterprising football in the last few minutes, Manchester United, but it still remains 1-0 to Crystal Palace. It's Game Day Live on TalkSport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Arsenal versus Chelsea live today. Search Now Sports. We're back around the grounds in just a moment in the Premier League. Palace leading at United, Fulham 1-0 up against Spurs, and Brighton 2-1 up against Nottingham Forest. Hold on, there's a goal at Craven Cottage. TalkSports Ollie Klink.
And Fulham have doubled their lead. Fulham 2, Tottenham 0. What a wonderful strike this is from Alex Iwobi. It came to him on the edge of the box after some nice work from Harry Wilson, and he has thundered it outside of the boot, posted in the bottom left-hand corner, and the issues get even worse for Igor Tudor and Tottenham Hotspur. Scott Minto, what a finish that is.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And look, I do think it's harsh on Spurs. We just talked about how they're trying to break down Fulham, but Fulham aren't playing particularly well, but are a difficult team to break down, and that's all credit to Marco Silva as well. And do you know what? He plays a little 1-2 with Harry Wilson. He gets the ball back. He's just 20 yards out, and he side foots it with the inside of his instep, and he does it with such power and pace that Vicaria, I mean, he's diving. He doesn't know anywhere near it. I do think a top-class goalkeeper perhaps would have somehow found a way to get a little fingertip on it and tip it against the post. But look, take nothing away from Alex Iwobi and Fulham. They are absolutely clinical. 2 shots on target, winning 2-0. Have Spurs got the bottle to come back from this?
Fulham in full control, Spurs floundering. 10 to go till half-time. Fulham 2, Tottenham 0.
Well, there was a bit of disguise on that shot, but it's going to be a weekend remembered for goalkeeping gaffes. Perry Groves.
Sam, you have to say, whatever system that Spurs are playing, whether it's a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, whatever, when you're out of possession, you have to go and close the ball down. Alex Iwobi gets the ball in sort of the inside right position. There's no pressure on him. He rolls it into Harry Wilson, who's in the 10 position. No pressure on him. He just lays it off to Iwobi. Iwobi just follows the ball, and at the edge of the box, it's brilliant technique from Iwobi, because basically it's a strong side foot, isn't it? Vicario said there maybe he could have done a little bit better, but it goes in off the post. So it's a brilliantly crafted goal for Fulham. But from Spurs' point of view, you'd never look at that, Sam, and think that they were fighting for their lives at the bottom of the Premier League.
It's
so
absolutely
poor.
ridiculous. There's no pressure on the ball whatsoever, no fight, no desire to go and close down Iwobi, and as a result, they trail by 2-0. The Tottenham fans will be absolutely furious. And by the way, The worst thing is Crystal Palace are starting to pick up a few points. They've won 2 of their last 3 and they're winning at Old Trafford today. And their next game, Tottenham, Thursday night, is Crystal Palace at home. It doesn't get any easier for Igor Tudor. We're back around the grounds next in the Premier League.
Nothing beats that just booked feeling. So escape to Malta with Jet2 Holidays. Home to ancient cities, Michelin-starred dining and delicious local delicacies. Take your pick of our best rooms and hotels and soak up the year-round sun with flexible durations. Book Malta with just a £60 deposit per person and save £200 per couple too. Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. After protected. Subject to availability and conditions.
Chase is the digital bank that gives you 1% cash back on your groceries.
Like on my meal prep for the week?
Yep.
What about some new clothes?
Are they from a supermarket?
They are.
Then of course. And with all that cash back, you could turn it into...
some new headphones.
That's right. Get 1% cash back on groceries, everyday transport and fuel with Chase. Search Chase Bank. 18 plus UK residents, 1% cash back on this debit card spending for your first year. Maximum £15 per month. Eligibility and exceptions apply. May be changed or withdrawn.
A shot off the post, your horse caught on the line. The Acca Buster. The kind of near misses every fan knows all too well. That's why Tote now offers money back on selected events every single day across racing and sports. Download the Tote app to see today's money back specials. Money back when it matters, totally. Money back is a free bet on selected events. At least one per day. Max stake applies. Eligibility and key terms apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Idle pocket money sits in a piggy bank, rolling its eyes and twiddling its thumbs. Bored stiff. But if you open a free Monzo Kids account, your child's pocket money is always busy. It earns interest in a savings pot and teaches them how to save for a future where they don't need to ask you for cash. Monzo, the bank that gets your money moving. For children aged 6 to 15, parent or guardian account needed first. UK residents only. T's and C's apply.
MyMotorworld.com. Flat battery, blown bulb, wipers past their best. Don't worry, you can fit it yourself at home. With big brands and low prices, starting from just £1.99 for wipers, $4.99 for bulbs, and batteries from just $39.99. Those life journeys don't need to cost the earth. Don't wait for a flat start. Power up, brighten up, clear up with MyMotorworld.com. Delivery from just £3.95.
MyMotorworld.com. Sunday Game Day Live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now, like Arsenal versus Chelsea live today. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
You're listening to Game Day Live. It's me, Sam Motherface, on Talk Sport across the sporting world today. Crystal Palace lead Manchester United by 1-0. Benjamin Šeško's just had a good header, which was saved by the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson, on his return to Old Trafford. Fulham 2-0 up against the toothless Tottenham. Brighton 2-1 up against Nottingham Forest, and Arsenal-Chelsea kicks off at 4:30 this afternoon. Rangers 2, Celtic 2. The advantage is certainly with Hearts in the title race. A very late goal from Rio Hatate rescued a point for Martin O'Neill on his 74th birthday. South Africa beat Zimbabwe by 5 wickets in the T20 World Cup. West Indies 113 for 3 with 7 overs remaining. The winner of India-West Indies will go through to the semi-final. And in Rugby League Super League, Bradford Bulls take on Toulouse a little bit later this afternoon. Ollie Klink and Scott Minto are watching Fulham versus Tottenham. Big story developing with Spurs 2-0 down.
Yeah, Fulham 2, Tottenham 0. They are trying to respond. Tottenham, Kolo Muani has just seen a shot blocked from inside the box, but they haven't shown too much in attack so far, and Fulham have scored with their 2 shots on target in this game as a throw is launched into the box once again, and Pedro Porro fizzes it back across goal, and that will dribble out of play, and that kind of sums up the afternoon so far. Scott Minto for Tottenham. It's just not happened for them, and they find themselves once again in this predicament.
Yeah, I mean, Fulham have been clinical, but they defend so well, don't they? I gave credit, little kudos to Marco Silva, because they look so well organised. But I look at this Spurs side and I'm thinking, I look at the players individually, you're all talented, but you're playing with a complete lack of confidence. It's bigger than just this season, Ollie. This has been going on for a good few years now. Spurs should be very, very worried from now to the end of the season.
Oh, almost a mistake there at the back from Archie Gray to let Fulham in once again. Harry Wilson has looked electric so far this afternoon, already got a goal and an assist in this game, and Fulham flying so far. 5 to go till half-time, Fulham 2, Tottenham 0.
Ollie, stay there. Scott Minto, stay there. Perry Groves come in on this. Igor Tudor, could he be Igor shown the door by the end of the week if they don't beat Fulham and Crystal Palace?
Well, do you know what, Sam? He hasn't had the effect, that new manager bounce. It's actually been new manager, you've let the ball down. It's that all the air looks like it's gone out of Spurs. And I heard Scott and Ollie say about, when before the game he was walking around when they was warming up. We did exactly the same thing last week against Arsenal. But it doesn't seem like the players are actually buying into what he wants them to do. I'm watching the game, they don't know whether they're going to go and close down, whether they're going to drop off. They don't defend their box, if their life depends on it. So I think this is like, when you get a leaky roof and it's just a little leak and all of a sudden you don't do anything about it and then the whole roof caves in. This is what's happened to Spurs at the moment, because it's lack of confidence, what Scott says, I get 100%. But the way you get your confidence back is if you work and you do your stuff off the ball. Spurs don't even look like they're doing that.
Sam, sorry, there's a bigger picture here, mate. There's absolutely a bigger picture. This has been happening for a very long time now for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And, the recruitment has just not been good enough, and the expectation from the fans, I get it, it is a big club. Whatever people joke about the Spursy, whatever, it's a very, very big club. But you can get anyone in. I think Pep Guardiola would struggle to get these players to play at the moment. They're in such a mental rut at the moment. I don't blame Igor Tudor. What more can he do apart from actually go on the pitch himself? And he can't do that anymore. He's set it up different. He's gone from a back three to a back four. He's trying to change things up a little bit. He's playing Colin Mawani alongside Dominic Solanke, who's just coming off if he needs to be. I'm telling you now, any manager coming in would struggle to keep Spurs up, and their biggest hope is that with the fixtures that West Ham have got and Nottingham Forest as well, that points gap they've got at the moment is big enough.
Well, after today, they go home to Crystal Palace, then they go away in the Champions League to Atletico Madrid, away to Liverpool in between those two legs of that last 16 game. If I was Tottenham Hotspur now, I'd be giving up on the Champions League and focusing on staying in the Premier League, because it doesn't look certain that they're going to be able to do that. They look absolutely shorn of all confidence. You say that Igor Tudor is almost exempt of blame, but you get the feeling, don't you, after he came out in his press conference and said this job is bigger than I expected, that he might have bitten off more than he can chew.
No, do you know what? I watched the whole presser from start to finish, and I looked at him in the eyes, and you just know that actually he's just being brutally honest. And I think Spurs fans kind of want that to a point. I look at him and I'm thinking, and what the history that he's got both as a player and also as a manager, he is proper. He is like, you're going to do it this way. I can be the general, but I need my soldiers. I go back to what the question Tom Barkley asked. You said about we're going to the war before the Arsenal game. Do you feel you've got the right soldiers? And he didn't say an emphatic yes. He said, we'll have to wait and see. There's only so much a manager can do, and what he's even come up and stepped on the warm-up. It's a big worry. It's an absolutely massive worry. Spurs, the way they're playing at the moment, they are bad enough to go down. The question is, are West Ham and Nottingham Forest also bad enough to go down? That's the question. But Spurs at this moment in time, they're a relegation threatened side.
Yeah, it's very much worth referencing the fact that they've got a lot of absentees. There's so many injuries that have cost them an issue. Kudos is a big one. Maddison all season has been a problem. Odegaard obviously picked up an ACL in Thomas Frank's last game in charge. We haven't seen Kulusevski for love nor money. Bentancur's been out with a hamstring and will be until April. It's been non-stop injury issues for Tottenham Hotspur, whoever the manager has been. Manchester United have tried to get themselves back into the game at Old Trafford, but they haven't managed it yet, Mickey Gray.
Yeah, still separated by that one goal from Maxence Lacroix. Manchester United nil, Crystal Palace 1. But over the last 10 minutes, United have got better. Bruno Fernandes's free kick tipped over the top of the crossbar. Casemiro coming close from a Fernandes header, but he headed wide for Manchester United. Still trying to get back on level terms. Man United nil, Crystal Palace 1.
Brighton ended a 6-game winless run with that 2-0 win at Brentford last week, and they've started this game really well. James Fielden.
Goals in the first 15 minutes here. A minute to go until the break. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Chances since you were last here. Hinchinwood on the edge of the box, but he spooned it wide. Then a great Jan-Paul van Hecke cross from a deep position on the right. Swung it in with plenty of spin. A diving header from Hinchinwood, but Sells managed to palm it behind for a corner. And then a rare Forest chance at the other end with 42 minutes gone. It was Sangare who played a sweeping ball from right to left. Hudson-Odoi beat Wee for all ends up, drifted in field. And then Van Hecke with a brave block to throw himself across and block. And that was their first attempt since the 13th minute of the game when Gibbs White equalised. Forest need to up their game in the second half. Brighton just about worthy of their lead at the moment. 3 minutes of added time. Brighton 2, Forest 1.
James Milner says made his 900th club career appearance today. He started the game for Brighton. It's his 900th appearance, 8,512 days since his first appearance for Leeds against West Ham in November 2022. Half-time in our 3 Premier League games coming next. Fulham 2, Spurs 0, Manchester United 0, Palace 1, and Brighton 2, Forest 1.
Hear that? That's Cheltenham. An epic 4 days. And William Hill are making it even more epic. Available every day from 8 a.m. We're giving you 2 epic boosts. In shop and on app. This is the Cheltenham Festival with William Hill. From 8 a.m. when shops open. Second from 1:30 p.m. 10th to 13th of March. Singles only. State limit supply. Plus customers only in shop. One of each epic boost. 18 plus gamble aware.
Nothing beats that just booked feeling. So escape to Malta with Jet2 Holidays. Home to ancient cities, Michelin-starred dining, and delicious local delicacies. Take your pick of our best rooms and hotels and soak up the year-round sun with flexible durations. Book Malta with just a £60 deposit per person and save £100 per person too. Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. International protected. Subject to availability and conditions.
Oh man. Sunday Game Day Live.
You're listening to Game Day Live on TalkSport with me, Sam Matterface, across the sporting world today. Half-time's coming up imminently. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 2, Spurs 0, Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Arsenal Chelsea's at 4:30. Rangers drew 2-2 with Celtic to give Hearts the advantage in the title race. South Africa beat Zimbabwe by 5 wickets. West Indies are 119-3 in the men's T20 World Cup with 6 overs remaining. Bradford balls against Toulouse. Kicks off at 3 o'clock in the Super League. Let's go off to Craven Cottage. It's half-time in the game between...
to Harry Wilson, which was a sumptuous acrobatic volley. Now they have every right. Gabriel and Randall Colomwani, this time VAR awarding a goal, and this time it's against Spurs. The second, though, an absolute touch of class. Alex Iwobi, right side of the pitch, Fulham playing just his one-touch pass and go stuff. Played a 1-2 with Wilson, allowed him to advance just to the edge of the area and just stroked it home side-footed. It had power, it had precision, it had everything on it to make it Fulham 2, Spurs 0. And I'll tell you what, there's you just got to watch Igor Tudor's face every single time something doesn't go right, which is largely what has gone on in this first half. The cameras just pan to Igor Tudor and his gesticulating and his facial expressions. They are a picture. It is Fulham 2, Spurs 0 at the break.
It's so frustrating if you're a Tottenham fan, Aaron, because the reality is the reason that hasn't been given as a foul is because there's been so much discussion about the one that was given as a foul, as you say, again, going against Spurs last week. This is just the existence of a Tottenham Hotspur fan at the minute, though, isn't it?
Spursy, isn't it? It's really, really Spursy.
That's not what it means, Aaron.
You can use it in so many different contexts. But, I mean, look, I feel bad for the Spurs fans. They've travelled in numbers, as they always do. They've crossed the river and come down to South West. I don't know what, they're by the river. But do you know what? The great Spurs songbook was rolled out today. They were in fine voice. But once that second Fulham goal went in, man, it's been eerily quiet from that corner of the ground. It feels like a gut punch to those Tottenham fans. And do you know what? I feel bad for them because the Fulham fans are giving it to him. They're singing "Say Hello to QPR." Oh, terrible.
Ouch. Aaron, thank you. So you'll get the second half of that game at Craven Cottage on 5 Sports Extra. I mean, the only good news for Tottenham fans at the moment is what's happening at the Amex in the game between Brighton and Nottingham Forest. Sahel Sahu.
Yeah, and that's because Nottingham Forest are trailing at the break, Steve, by 2-1. 3 goals in 9 minutes. A frantic start to the half. Diego Gomez with the opener for Brighton after 6 minutes. He picked out Gross, and then Gomez fired across the goals, and Salzi got a hand to the ball, but he couldn't prevent it from finding the bottom corner. Nottingham Forest did equalise, though, through clever play from Hudson-Odoi and Jesus, who found Gibbs-White, and their captain, he produced a sweet strike to level things up. Their lead only lasted a couple of minutes when a Hinshelwood header, he found Danny Welbeck, and he turned superbly to smash home his 10th Premier League goal of the season. It's been a really good 45 minutes. Nottingham Forest are far from out of this game, though, Steve. Half-time, Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
Already today in the Old Firm, Celtic came from 2 goals down at half-time to draw 2-2 against Rangers at Ibrox. We've got reaction to that on the way. We'll be at the Emirates for the first time this afternoon for a look ahead to Arsenal versus Chelsea, which we're bringing you in full at 4:30. We'll look ahead to the Super League and check in on the cricket, all after the news on 5 Live with Richard Foster.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
There's been a fresh wave of strikes between Iran and Israel after Tehran promised to avenge the death of the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Explosions have been heard in cities across the Middle East as Iran targets US military bases there. Our correspondent Lucy Williamson is in Tel Aviv.
The municipal authorities are saying that dozens of buildings have been destroyed because, as good as Israel's air defences are, some of the missiles do get through. In terms of what Israel is trying to hit in Iran, they've been very clear that the ballistic missile program is a key focus for them, along with obviously those individuals in the leadership and Iran's air defences.
The United Arab Emirates government says it's intercepted 137 missiles and 209 drones since the conflict began yesterday morning. It's currently paying for the hotel rooms of stranded tourists there. The strikes have grounded many flights, with airports in Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Doha now shut or severely restricted. Travel disruption's been described as one of the worst since the COVID pandemic. Our correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher is in Doha.
This has had a detrimental effect across the region. Airspace is closed in many areas. This is a petro region. Oil exports are key to the economy, and the Strait of Hormuz, through which that oil is shipped, is in effect closed. You've had some strong statements from Gulf officials condemning these actions and saying they have the right to respond should they decide that would be necessary.
The Foreign Office is warning against all but essential travel now to Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. Some British nationals are stranded. Fiona Claxton's in Dubai with her family on holiday and heard the bombing overnight.
There was about 5 consecutive large explosions at about 5 o'clock this morning, and the glass reverberated and stuff. But when it all kicked off last night, I don't scare easily, but it's sort of the uncertainty, I think, as much as anything. Nothing people can do, but it's just how long is this going to go on?
Well, the Prime Minister's spoken to the King of Bahrain, the Crown Prince of Kuwait and the King of Jordan this morning. Downing Street says Sir Keir Starmer expressed the UK's solidarity in the face of the Iranian attacks and says British forces will continue their defensive role. Don't forget there's continuing coverage about the military action on the BBC News website and app, the news channel and the live news stream on BBC Sounds. One other story this afternoon, and a 50-year-old man from Towcester in Northamptonshire has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a security guard died in a stabbing at a shopping centre. Thames Valley Police say it happened at the Centre MK in Milton Keynes yesterday afternoon.
When the business hustle is on, when the boardroom drama hots up, when sales pitches really deliver results, or don't.
All that, and they made £3.
£3 and 13 pence.
Oh yeah, that'll save them.
Nothing brings us together like great TV. And the TV licence covers you to watch all TV channels plus BBC iPlayer, so you can keep up with all the latest boardroom battles. It also funds everything you love from the BBC, including live radio, like this.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Half-times in the Premier League. Manchester United 0, Palace 1, Fulham 2, Spurs 0 and Brighton 2, Forest 1. Second half commentaries on the way on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. At the T20 Cricket World Cup, India playing West Indies for a place in the semi-finals. Kevin Howells.
Intriguing. West Indies 149 for 4 off 16 overs. Holder and Powell are the not-out pair. There was a change of opening batters for the West Indies in this winner-takes-all contest, and it worked OK. Shai Hope and Roston Chase put on 68 in just under 9 overs. Indians bowlers, whether they were nervous, I don't know, but the fielding looked sloppy as well. But from 102 for 1, things started to go wrong for the West Indies. Heidmeyer 2 big blows for 6, but then he was caught by the keeper for 27. Jasprit Bumrah picked up 2 wickets in 1 over. So it's in the balance at the moment. The West Indies have just brought up the 150. 150 for 4 in the 17th over.
The winner will face England. Commentary continues on Sports Extra 3. The other semi-final will be South Africa, who beat Zimbabwe by 5 wickets earlier against New Zealand. There's one game in Super League this afternoon. It's about to get underway. Bradford Bulls against Toulouse at Odsonne. Matt Newsom's there.
Yeah, 2 teams who came up into Super League from the Championship in 2026, and they've already made a decent impression. Bradford winning 1, losing 1, but came really close in their defeat by Hull. Toulouse are only one of 3 teams in Super League who are yet to taste defeat in 2026, so this one's poised nicely. Every prediction I've made so far this season has been absolute fudge, so I'm not going to predict anything apart from I hope it's a good game.
Well, I suspect you didn't predict Leeds Rhinos would beat Hull KR 58-6 in Las Vegas. I mean, I feel bad for not talking more about how good Rhinos were. However, given Hull KR, that sounds amazing there, by the way, given Hull KR have just won the World Club Challenge, 10 days ago, they've had a rotten start to the new season.
Yeah, absolutely. Defeat by York, one of the other new boys in Super League in their opening game, and then, as you say, utterly trounced in Vegas. I don't know whether it was a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, all the excitement of being in Vegas and, of course, winning that World Club Challenge. But one thing I would say, Leeds have had a bit of a hex over Hull KR in the last couple of games they played, and last year they were probably the only team who really got the better of them, but certainly not by that manner, and I don't think anyone expected that. A very angry Willie Peters afterwards.
Odsal sounding absolutely brilliant. Matt will keep us right
it's
up
right
to
back
date.
to Bullmania.
Yeah, right, sounds
right
great.
Right back to Bullmania, Steve.
Thank you very much, Matt. Back to the football then. Celtic came from 2-0 down in the Old Firm to earn a 2-2 draw at Ibrox. Let's hear from both managers in a moment. Danny Roll first, Martin O'Neill.
Obviously a great game. We were well and truly second best first half for almost all of it. They got off to a great start. It's a goal in the first few minutes of the game, keeps the crowd going. Then they get the second goal, which is not great play by us, however. It was a long way back at half-time, but they have shown, this side has shown a great determination, got down and got it played, and other than the first 3 or 4 minutes of the second half, the game belonged to us, the second half belonged to us, and we got the equaliser, which we thoroughly deserved.
I guess there's 2 ways of looking at it: managerial masterstroke with the substitutions, or wrong team picked in the first place. Which way do you look at it?
Well, you absolutely. I think if you're 2-0 down at half-time, then you have to question yourself, and I spend my life questioning myself, to tell you the truth. Anyway, we pulled it round in the second half. Great effort, absolutely fantastic effort by the players. They've shown great spirit, I must admit, during my time here, and it was that spirit and determination that kept us going.
I think at the moment the feeling is more disappointed because we dropped 2 points after 2-0 lead. I think we played a perfect game, 50 minutes, even after the half-time, the first 5-6 minutes we were on front foot. We tried everything that was outstanding, but a game, it's not about 50 minutes, it's about longer.
The gap to the league leaders is now 6 points. How confident are you that you can catch them, you can still win this title?
Yeah, if you won today, the winner is Hearts, but there's still 9 games to go, and this is 27 points. I think all games now will be tough for all the teams, and this is the reason why we move forward, we go again, and we believe until the end. And this season, the decision making will be on the last match day.
Danny Roll, and before him, Martin O'Neill. Second half's about to get back underway in the Premier League. Fulham leading Tottenham by 2-0. Head over to 5 Sports Extra for that one. It's Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1. You'll get that on Sports Extra 2. We'll be back at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. In just a moment. First, we'll all be back together for Arsenal-Chelsea at the Emirates in full at 4:30. Let's go there now for the first time today. So, 10 games to go. Couple of points in it. 1st of March, Ali Bruce Ball.
Yeah.
It's the business end.
I know. I was just thinking exactly that, Steve, ahead of this weekend, that, we're into March. Bit of sunshine yesterday, a little bit less so today. Manchester City, getting a good 3 points last night in what was always going to be a really difficult game against Leeds. And here we are, 10 games to go, just 2 points in it. And actually just the walk into the stadium today, I think, Steve, was quite revealing. So surrounded by the Arsenal fans, all clad in the red and white in sort of their pre-match discussions. And there was a spring in the step. There was confidence in the chatter. And I think a lot of that comes from last weekend's performance, getting back on the horse, the derby demolition of Spurs. And I think this place will be jumping from kick-off today. So we'll have to see what Chelsea can do to try and stop Arsenal.
It's got everything for us, Matt Upson. The time of the season, the profile of the two clubs should be brilliant.
It has, Steve, hasn't it, really? It's got a lot to offer, this game, and off the back of obviously playing each other quite a lot this season, I think you can learn a lot from those games as to where both teams are at the moment, and it certainly favours Arsenal in the head-to-head, but as Ali's mentioned, their current form only won 3 of the last 8. It's not the form of title-winning team at this stage of the season, so they've got to get back on track. So back-to-back Premier League wins is crucial for Arsenal here.
It's also about the opposition for both teams as well, isn't it? Arsenal going for the title, Chelsea have slipped out of the Champions League places. Any big performance and big result against each other can be a real accelerator, can't it?
Yeah, it absolutely can, and I think Arsenal will look at this as just another game, to be honest, Steve, because every game from here on in has the same importance. Whether you're playing Chelsea or anyone else, it doesn't actually matter. So from a player perspective, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta, these are our fundamentals. This is how we're going to approach this game. This is what they're good at and this is what they're bad at. Let's put it together and win the game. And it's just piece by piece at the moment for us.
And I think, Steve, tactical approach from both today is fascinating, because I remember listening to Matt sitting alongside John Murray a few weeks back for the second leg of that League Cup semi-final, and Liam Rosenior and Chelsea didn't come to play to begin with, didn't go too open, tried to contain and wait and take it deep and then try and do something in the last 20 minutes. And after the game, Liam Rosenior got a bit of criticism for that, and that's often a criticism thrown at Mikel Arteta. And here come Arsenal off the back of the big win over Spurs. I think the Arsenal fans will want Eza to start, and Arsenal to be positive and try and be assertive. So that's going to be fascinating when we get the lineup, Steve.
Yeah, it should be in about 10 minutes' time, and we will find out via John Murray in the second half, which is ready to get underway at Old Trafford. John?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Steve. Welcome back inside Old Trafford, where the whistle goes for the start of the second half. No substitutions, no further substitutions at the break. Palace playing towards the Stretford end in the second half after they turned Manchester United around after the toss before the start of the match. Manchester United, red shirts, white shorts, black socks. They lost Luke Shaw in the first half. I think he took a knock, seemed to be a little dazed. So he came off, Mazraoui came on. So Manchester United with Lamans in goal, Dalot, Yoro, Maguire and substitute Mazraoui. Then Casemiro, Mainu, Bruno Fernandes in the midfield, and Burmo on the right, Cunha on the left, and Sesko starting after coming off the bench in the last 5 matches. So Amad Diallo's a substitute today. You would think we'd probably see him in the second half. It's Manchester United with Cunha, winner throw-in off Richards, and referee Chris Kavanagh says to Cunha, you've got to come back and take it 5 years further back. And Palace, as they started, they were very good for most of the first half. Scored through Lacroix, who really bossed Lenny Yoro to win the header to score the goal. Henderson in goal as the ball's played up to him. Burmo inside the box, but Lacroix wins that header. Bruno Fernandes on the right wing actually backheels the ball straight out of play, much to the amusement of the Palace fans who are looking down on it from that corner to our right. So Henderson in goal, Richards, Lacroix and Canvo, the 3 central defenders. Munoz on the right, Mitchell on the left, Wharton and Kamada, then Sarr, Johnson and Strand Larsen. So Guesson on the bench for Palace with Johnson coming in. It was Johnson's corner they scored from. Manchester United with him, Burmo into the penalty area, away from Wharton, then Sesko slices it. In fact, I think it might have come off Canvo, it did, because they're all congratulating him to deflect it wide and behind. So Sesko with the chance there, bang on form, but Canvo with a block.
I mean, Canvo there is only about 10 yards on the angle on the right hand side, and he puts his laces through it, Sesko, but Canvo stands tall, doesn't turn his back and does his job. Big fist pump and a high five from his centre half partnership as well.
Yeah, absolutely blasted it, and Campbell just stood up and took the hit.
It's great defending. That's exactly what you want from your defenders. Do your job, don't let the ball get anywhere near your keeper. High five from his centre-half partner.
That's Dion Dublin with us on 5 Live for the commentary here at Old Trafford. And Burma with the corner, left-footed, deep to the back post. Richards got his head to it for Palace, heads it across the box, cleared away by Munoz, but he's passed it straight to Dalot, who gives it back to Mbermo. Then Dalot, his cross into the penalty area, headed up and over the top by Casemiro, who's actually taken a bang in the process, as has Sesko. Did the two of them collide? Yes, they did. Sesko and Casemiro, teammates.
Yeah, it was a decent ball in actually from Dalot into a dangerous area, but Sheshia was going back towards it, and I think it's Casemiro's going towards it, towards goal, and they just clash heads again. Just an early shout. Just talk. Say your name. Tell your teammate that you're coming. Your other teammate stays out the way. It's very, very simple, but it's happened a couple of times now.
Yeah, Casemiro headed the ball, and on the follow through, I think maybe with the side of his head, caught the and now a yellow card for Crystal Palace for wasting time taking the goal kick. Lacroix shown the card for that. And, I mean, Palace haven't acted. Lacroix stands as though he just can't believe it. That's an early yellow card for time wasting.
It is, and it's unnecessary as well. They're just moving the ball from one side of the 6-yard box to the other.
So Manchester United with Bruno Fernandes, but he's challenged, and Palace clear it away downfield. So Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. All of the 2 o'clock kickoffs, the 3 of them in the Premier League underway. Big story developing at Craven Cottage, where Fulham are 2-0 up against Tottenham. So Tottenham losing again. And Burmo playing the ball to the right for Manchester United, and Dalot still unbeaten under Michael Carrick's management. Mainoo's ball in. Sesko with a header, but no power on that from 16, 17 yards out, and Dean Henderson's able to make a comfortable catch.
I mean, I'm wanting my centre forward there. I mean, I know he's a long way out, but I want him to twist his body and really throw his forehead at it. He's just allowing the ball to hit him at the moment. If there's no pace on the cross, you have to put pace and direction on it. He didn't either. Bit more from Šeško.
Yes, with the Brits in town last night, twisting his melon. Palace with the ball on the right-hand side. Richards goes back towards the edge of his penalty area, gives it to Kamada. Kamada forward to Strand Larsen. Here is the ever mobile Sarr, Ismail Sarr, Africa Cup of Nations winner with Senegal in January. Mitchell now on the left, plays it in, and Strand Larsen with the chance, arriving onto it as Mazraoui put the challenge in and just scooped it well wide, actually.
I mean, it's far too easy. Mitchell has travelled with the ball 30-40 yards to get into a crossing position. Larson's making and running there, Sarr's making and running there as well. Kamada's on the edge of the box. He just picked out a teammate and made it look so easy.
Yeah, and really, if you weren't with us in the first half, if you're a Crystal Palace supporter, there are such encouraging signs from this Palace display that will warm your heart as Casemiro plays it forward for Mbermo. Sesko now taking it on through the middle. Sesko just got his feet sorted out, and then Cunha. Tackle came in on him from Munoz. The ball runs away, but Cunha's onto this again. Cunha against Munoz. Then back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui just runs across the corner of the box. Mazraoui gets it back, looking to cross towards the back post. It drifts all the way across, and Mitchell there, not sure where Mbermo was. Might have been dropping out anyway, but Mitchell made sure and headed it behind. Corner.
Yeah, he wasn't sure, Mitchell, if there was somebody in behind him. Mbermo there was just on the left-hand shoulder. He heads it out to safety.
Palace are coming under some pressure here at the start of the second half. 6 minutes of that played, and Burmo to take this again. So the left footer, socks down, bright yellow boots, and Burmo in towards the back post. Henderson gets a punch on that, not terribly convincingly, but he punched it to teammate Mitchell, who was able to control and hack it away.
It's enough though. I mean, Henderson's got about 8 or 9 players around him, and he does get a left fist to it. It doesn't go too far, but it gets away from the danger. That's what you want from your keeper.
Ball's through. There's a pull back by Lacroix, surely, on Cunha. And has he given us a free kick? No, he's given the penalty. He has given the penalty. Well, it seemed like a straightforward decision to have to make. I mean, Maxence Lacroix is wagging his finger. But with the naked eye, there appeared to be a hand on the shoulder, a pull back. Cunha went down, and although, hang on, he's actually sending away Maguire, who I might be saying, what about a red card for Lacroix? Because Cunha was bursting into the box, so he's having a long, hard think about this, Chris Kavanagh. And let's see, he's speaking to Lacroix. Dean Henderson has gone across as the Palace captain, remember now, since the departure of Mark Gay. A long think. And discussion continues. Bruno Fernandes is in there as well. And I'm not sure why this is taking quite as long as it is.
We haven't seen a replay yet, so we're not quite sure. Penalty 100%.
Yeah.
Last man.
He's obviously asked VAR to check this. You know, he's given it as a penalty, but he's waiting for the video assistant referee, Tony Harrington, to make the decision. And I think the question will be, was it outside the penalty area when the foul actually happened? Cunha drops into the box, but it might yet be a free kick outside, or is it on the line?
I think they're looking. They might be looking at whether he's last man or whether it's
Yeah, there's that as well. But I think the question is, did the foul continue into the penalty area? And it does seem to be on the line. I must say, I think it's Bruno Fernandes is walking forward, and it looks as though the penalty has been confirmed. Has it? Has it yet? Dean Henderson is standing having a drink to the side of the goal. There are still Palace players near the referee inside the box. We've not got the confirmation that it's a penalty yet. And when it's this close, I think it is one where you have to go with the on-field referee. You know, if it's not clear, this is the sort of microscopic VAR treatment that they are trying to.
Yeah, it's a long hold, John.
Discourage.
It's a very long hold. Lacroix there has got.
Oh, I think there's. Well, he's going to go to the screen. So I think that my reading of this would be, the suggestion is that the video assistant referee is saying it might not be a penalty. Tony Harrington's been called across. The screen is actually on this side of the field, just down in front of us, just to the right of the Crystal Palace technical area. So the conversation is going on, and we'll just have to wait and see. But it would appear that Tony Harrington's advice, the video assistant referee, to the match referee, Chris Kavanagh, is to give this as a free kick, not a penalty.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be looking at the inside or the outside, or is he looking at last man as well? There could be a look at a couple of things he's looking at here, but he's stood in front of us just to the side of the technical areas there. He's just about to walk away. I think he's made his decision. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. And we will hear the announcement since he's been to the screen, just walking back onto the pitch. Here it comes.
After review, Crystal Palace number 5 commits a clear holding offence.
That's a red card. He's sent off. I think it's debatable whether there were covering defenders, but the officials have looked at it. And Crystal Palace winning 1-0, but are down to 10. One of the most important players, Maxence Lacroix, the goal scorer, remember, has been sent off, and it's a penalty to Manchester United.
Yes, it is. This is an interesting one as well, because Bruno Fernandes, as good as we know, is in the penalty spot. Henderson will know Bruno Fernandes very, very well. He'll know his style of penalty as well. We know how good Henderson can be with spot kicks. The captain's taking all the responsibility here. One of the most confident players you would like from the penalty spot. Here we go.
Yes, Bruno Fernandes, who has failed with a couple of penalties this season, but no one has scored more penalties for Manchester United than Bruno Fernandes. Dean Henderson, his former teammate. Bruno Fernandes waits. This to make it 1-1 from the penalty spot. Up he comes, Bruno Fernandes, and Henderson goes the wrong way. The ball ends up in the bottom corner, the bottom right corner, as Fernandes looks at it. And it is 1-1 with Bruno Fernandes, 7th goal of the season for Manchester United. And he runs away with the ball, he drops it in the centre circle, and he looks at the other end, to the Stretford end, and he says, come on now, come on, get behind us. and see us through to the win here against now 10-man Crystal Palace.
Yeah, there's no messing from the skipper there. There's no hesitation. There's no stuttering. It's all about putting the ball down. Big, deep breath. Let me take charge of this situation. Stick the ball in the back of the net and let's get ourselves back in this game. Very, very good penalty that from Bruno Fernandes.
Yes, no more of the old Bruno bounce. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah. He worked though, John, I've got to say, most of the time, but this is an occasion where you do not take any chances. Let me do what I do well, put the ball in the back of the net and let me get my team back in the game.
And Oliver Glasner is going to react to this. So it is now Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 1, but Lacroix sent off. So Richards has gone across into the middleman position, and coming on to play at the back, Chadi Riyad, the Moroccan defender who's had terrible issues with injury during the course of the time that he's been at Crystal Palace since he signed from Barcelona. So he is on to play on the left-hand side, and Camvo's actually gone across to the right, and the other change, Strand Larsen has been taken off, and Evan Gessan has come onto the field to replace him. So that's quite a rejig from Oliver Glasner with the 10 men. More from Dion Dublin in a moment. But the other matches, Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1, and Fulham 2, Tottenham 0 were the latest scores last we heard. But let's go to Vicarage Road. Aaron Paul.
Here at Craven Cottage, it's Fulham 2, Spurs 0. Fulham agonising close to a third. Oscar Bob robbing the ball of Palhinha, putting him on his back, feeding in Smith Rowe down the left-hand side. He shot across the goal, glanced past the post, and that was enough for Igor Tudor. A hat-trick of substitutions for him. Tell, Richarlison and Pap Sarr all on. 58 gone, Fulham 2, Spurs 0.
Did I say Vicarage Road there?
Yes, you did.
Well, it is a Sunday. We've got the team news coming very shortly on Arsenal-Chelsea. But Manchester United with their tails up after the Bruno Fernandes equaliser. Half an hour to play. Manchester United with it on the left-hand side. And here is the cross from Mazraoui. And it hits Sesko and bounces behind off his shins. It was almost like he was caught LBW. It bounced off his shins and away. And he actually looked down at the pitch.
Yeah, he wasn't, I know exactly what the situation was with him there. He gets across his man. It's a great run. He's just, 2-3 yards ahead of the near post. He's thinking, do I leave it or do I take it and go for goal? He was caught in two minds. He didn't make his mind up either way. I think he has a go at that. Swings his left foot, see what happens.
So Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 1. It is time to get the team news from the Emirates Stadium. I think I've got the right name this time. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Yes, the old Highbury just over the way, John. Nice and easy from the Arsenal point of view. The same team Mikel Arteta names that beat Spurs in the derby 4-1 last weekend. Only the bench is strengthened because Kai Havertz is available, so he's named amongst the subs. Chelsea's last game was the 1-1 home draw against Burnley. 2 changes here. Wesley Fofana suspended after the sending off, so Mamadou Sarr, the 20-year-old, comes in for a first Premier League start, and at left-back, Jarell Harto makes a 4th Premier League start, and he comes in for Malo Gusto.
Thank you very much, Ali. Very much looking forward to that later. Just 2 points now between Arsenal and Manchester City after what was a really hard-fought win, actually, for Manchester City yesterday at Elland Road. And sun coming out now brightly again, even though from where we sit here in the Bobby Charlton stand, we can just see grey skies above. Palace breaking away. Wharton, little ball forward to Kamada, and Kamada has taken it all the way, plays it through the middle. Sarr with the run, but it's turned back to goalkeeper Lammens, who passes it forward for Manchester United. So yes, Strand Larsen and Johnson were the men who came off, and Riyad and Gessan are coming on. Evan Gessan, who has scored in the last 2 matches against Wolves and against Strinsky. But Manchester United with the extra man now here at Old Trafford, 1-0 down for such a long time in the match that you'd have to consider they'd be the favourites now to go on and win this. You would think. Bruno Fernandes curling it in, cleared away by Campo. That was last-ditch stuff, wasn't it, with Sesko lurking beyond him.
Had to get that right, by the way. I mean, Palace can't get out at the moment.
Now a foul on Gessan by Harry Maguire in the centre circle. Maguire puts his hands up over his face, Gessan is left on the ground. It's a free kick, and Gessan just taking his time to get to his feet. I wondered whether that might have been a case for a yellow card.
No, nowhere near. Nowhere
Just
near.
backed into him.
Just backs into him
Harry
there, yeah.
Maguire.
He knows exactly what he's doing, Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
Why he's got his head in his hands. It's just a very cute bit of defending. Puts his centre forward off. Centre forward's got no chance of bringing it down and creating anything at all. But it is a free kick.
That was the reaction from Harry Maguire.
Absolutely.
It was like he was playing people, wasn't it, with the referee? Had his hands right in front of his face. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 1. Choice of listening continues. Sport Extra for Fulham against Tottenham. Sport Extra 2 for Brighton against Nottingham Forest, where Brighton continue to lead by 2-1. And Sport Extra 3 for the T20 World Cup, on which Kevin Howells will update us, but Richards playing it through to Sarr, who hits a shot from just outside the tee, but too close to Lamont, who is able to just take a couple of quick steps to his left and gather the ball into his chest. So come in, Kevin Howells.
India-West Indies, the winners of this game, play England in the semi-final on Thursday. The West Indies batting first of total 195 for 4. Could be a vital partnership there. 76 off just 35 balls between Jason Holder and Rodman Powell. India require 196 to win.
And Bruno Fernandes, as Manchester United break forward, hitting a shot. Classic Bruno Fernandes, that cutting in from the left on his right foot, the dipping effort, but just didn't get the direction right, and it bounced across goal and beyond the far post.
You know what, I think there was a bigger cheer for the pass from Casemiro. He's 10 yards inside his own half and he pings it 25 yards inside the Palace half on the left wing. 40-yard crossfield pass. Bruno Fernandes didn't move. What a pass from Casemiro.
Casemiro into his final weeks, really, as a Manchester United player. But he's had a good season, hasn't he? And the partnership with Mainu has really flourished under Michael Carrick. Won what is in this spell Michael Carrick's 7th match as the Manchester United manager. Cunha does well to keep his feet, actually. Cunha, who won the penalty that led to the sending off of Lacroix. Here's the man who equalised, Bruno Fernandes, passing it forward. Cunha into the box. Mitchell with a challenge, and the ball runs free for Campo to come across and chip it away. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Back into the area. Sesko with the header! 2-1 Manchester United. And Sesko scores again! What a run he's on! That is now 7 goals in his last 8 appearances for Manchester United. He's scored in 3 in a row, and Manchester United have turned this around in the second half. They lead 2-1 against Crystal Palace now.
Down to the captain yet again. He's on the left-hand side from that brilliant pass from Casemiro. Takes a shot, nothing on it. This time he's on the right-hand side, demanding the ball. Give me the ball, I want to put the ball in the box. Šeško this time starts behind his defender, gets across his defender, and you know what? I'm saying head it, head it. He does exactly that with power and precision. That's what you need to do when you're a centre forward. Be horrible to play against. What a header, what a ball.
That's a centre forward's header, Dion. He's got away from Canvo, who's the defender closest to him. Made his own space. Positive attack.
You've got to know exactly what you've got with Šeško. He's not going to beat 5 players with pace and skill. Put the ball in the box. He's a big old unit. He can head the ball incredibly well. Give him a chance to score goals. Cross it as much as you possibly can. Just watching the replay here. Brilliant direction, brilliant power, brilliant centre-forward play.
Well, last weekend I was watching Victor Gyökeres, who's going from strength to strength with Arsenal. And this Sunday afternoon, that is Benjamin Sesko's 9th goal for Manchester United, 8 of them in the Premier League. So 2-1 to Manchester United here. What about Craven Cottage? Aaron Paul.
Hello, 25 to go. We have a goal for Tottenham. Richarlison, rising eyes at the back stick. Really good work by Archie Gray to keep the ball in right down by the bar line. Lofts across it. Leno can't get to it. Richarlison there to nod it past the goalkeeper. Then an almighty scrap between him and Bassi as Richarlison tried to get the ball back to the halfway line. Fulham 2, Spurs 1.
Manchester United all over Crystal Palace now. This time Cunha, him cutting in from the left-hand side, his shot from the edge of the area, but straight at Henderson, who was able to collect it.
Just great interplay, really. Again, it went into Šeško and Bruno Fernandes is off the centre forward. There's a different feeling now. Yes, they've got the goals. Yes, they are in front, but just moving the ball a lot better now. United got that extra player.
Yeah, that's crucial, isn't it? The sending off of Lacroix before Bruno Fernandes equalised. So 2 goals in the space of 8 minutes for Manchester United to turn the match around. Now Adam Wharton is being withdrawn from the midfield, and Will Hughes is going to come on to replace him. Oliver Glasner, and he must have been impressed by what he saw in the first half, particularly the first half hour. But as we suggested, Dion, late on in that first half, Manchester United did get going, and, well, they are in their stride now.
They are, and it's plain to see. This looks like a different side to the one in the first half. It's just 1 and 2 touch, making it look easy, looking like United again. They didn't look like United in the first half, and Palace have obviously got to play a different game completely.
Palace, rare attack for them in the second half. Maguire comes forward, heads it out of the penalty area. Cunha's claiming that he was being fouled. Referee Kavanagh agrees with him. Manchester United take a quick free kick. Manchester United winning 2-1. In fact, all 3 of these Premier League matches currently underway are being won 2-1 by the home team. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Going to go back there in a moment. Fulham 2, Tottenham 1. And commentary on Arsenal, Chelsea to come from 4:30 with Alistair Bruce Ball and Matthew Upson. Looking forward to bringing you commentary from the FA Cup next weekend. Where's that going to take you, Dion? Looking forward to Wrexham Chelsea.
Oh, is that you, is it?
Saturday
What a good
afternoon.
game that is, by the way.
Just, yes.
What a great game.
Are you on your travels?
You know what, John? I don't know until I look at my diary. You know what, John? My manager's only sitting 2 yards away from me, Jo Tong. She might be able to tell me who I am.
She is man-marking you.
She isn't she? And I think she might have an earpiece in listening to it as well. So I'm under severe pressure here.
I'm not sure she has. She's looking very poker-faced sitting there as Maguire plays it out to the left-hand side. We'll go to Brighton again when we get a chance. In fact, let's do that now, because Munoz has just put the ball out of play. So what's happening with you, Sohail Sahi?
Yeah, we've got 22 minutes to play here, John. Still Brighton leading Nottingham Forest by 2-1. Brighton had a chance from a free kick. It was Pascal Gross. It bobbled towards Sales. He flopped down to his right and palmed it away. Nottingham Forest, considering where they are in the table, they're lacking urgency. Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
Yes, Forest losing, Tottenham losing. So all of those Leeds United supporters will be happy enough for that, as indeed will the players. And Daniel Farke, as Kobbie Mainoo loses possession, does well actually, having lost possession or being dispossessed by Gessan. Mainoo chased after him, won the ball back. Now Mainoo all over the back of Kamada, who tumbles down to the ground, and that's a free kick too. Palace just forward of the centre circle. Oliver Glasner, who's got rid of that light jacket now, comes forward. He's all in sort of what colour is that? Oliver Glasner's in. It's sort of blue, purpley blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trousers,
I was going to go charcoal
and jumper.
Charcoaly blue, maybe?
Okay, that's it. Yeah. It's not far away. Anyway, he goes back and sits down in amongst the red Manchester bricks down there in the dugout. Free kick to Palace. Will Hughes to take this. Manchester United leading Palace by 2-1. And Hughes, left-footed, drives it forward. Richards is after it, but Manchester United actually headed away. Casemiro did well there. It's Casemiro who won the header. Comes back to the Brazilian. Casemiro, 34 years old now. And then he hits the pass. You paid tribute to him, Dion, for the pass that led to the winning of the penalty, wasn't it, when Cunha was sent through. Casemiro, he's still got it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, what I like about Casemiro is as much as he's won and as good as he is, if he sees a pass, he'll try it, and if it gets cut out, he'll try it again. He's just got so much ability and confidence in his own ability as well that, you don't win what he's won multiple times if you're not got a little bit in your locker, let me say.
Yeah. Manchester United leading by 2-1, with Palace leading 1-0 at half-time. The sending off of Lacroix, then the scoring of the penalty by Bruno Fernandes, and then Šeško with Bruno Fernandes putting over the cross. Perfect, really. Meat and drink for a top-class centre-forward, and Sesko duly gobbled it up. Ball in the centre circle with Maguire and turns it to his left. I think the only issue with Maguire will be in terms of the World Cup squad, as Mazraoui breaks forward down the left-hand side. It's Cunha goes into the box, then it's won back by Manchester United. Across from Menu, chance for a third. Casemiro on the edge of the area, but quickly closed down. However, Dalot curls it into the back post. Cunha heads it across, then Richards was there to stretch forward and head it out towards the far side. Yep, Palace are on the rack here now. This is much better. I know some of our colleagues here in the media area who watch every match said first half worst performance so far under Michael Carrick. Ball crossed into the area and chested behind by Mitchell. That's another corner to the home side. But really, since the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the first half, and certainly the second half, they have upped their game.
Yeah, all United just playing how they have played for the last 5 or 6 games with sheer confidence. You can hear the fans as well have got on board. There was a little bit of restlessness with the fans in the first half, but that is all change.
Michael Carrick just down there with Steve Holland and Amad Diallo as well. He's going to be the next man to come on, and I think he's going to replace Sesko. And Burmo with the corner, curls it in towards the back post. Richards wins that, had to stretch against Casemiro. It's volleyed back in, out to the right hand side. What a pass that is by Bruno Fernandes to Burmo. Controls it in the left back area. His ball into the back post. Casemiro saved by Henderson on the volley. Casemiro, his body language, the way that he hit that, he was thinking goal, but Henderson made the save and now makes the catch as it's played back in.
Yeah, I mean, Henderson made that save look very simple, caught it incredibly well on the far post. Casemiro, let me tell you, side-footed it, didn't want to go with the laces because you are not in control as much with the laces. Casemiro hits the target, Henderson bounces it away. Look at the replay, he's 6 yards out, should really be a goal, but Henderson makes a very good point-blank save.
And with that save, that keeps the score 2-1 to Manchester United. And here we are, Sesko, having started today on as a substitute in the last 5. Quite a big call by Michael Carrick. Quite quiet in the first half, Sesko. Had a chance he didn't take. But Old Trafford is warming to this 22-year-old Slovenian who gets a little light embrace from Michael Carrick as he leaves the field, having today scored his 9th goal for Manchester United.
Yeah, good shift. Second half, much better. A bit more help from his midfield players as well. Better ball up to him as well, so he can affect the game, and more chance for him to score goals. Made it look simple.
Yep, job well done. His job is to score goals, and with the scoreline as it is, his goal will be the winner as Crystal Palace win a free kick. Sarr was fouled, free kick off inside their own half. If you've just switched on, if you weren't listening earlier, really dramatic Old Firm match in Glasgow. Rangers 2, Celtic 2. Rangers were 2-0 up. Highlights on the BBC in Scotland later today. So Hearts now 7 points clear at the top of Rangers, who are 2 points ahead of Celtic, who are 2 points ahead of Motherwell. And right now, Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1. That is on Sports Extra 2. Fulham 2, Tottenham 1. That is on Sports Extra. And India-West Indies continues on Sports Extra 3 with Arsenal, Chelsea to come. And all 10 of the matches in the Premier League you will hear on 5 Live and BBC Sounds on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and lots of commentaries from the FA Cup next weekend, starting on Tuesday night with the second Wolves-Liverpool match of the week. Here is Gessan. Crystal Palace with 10 men trying to come back level, but Kamada has overhit that pass, and Mazraoui was able to hair across, take possession, clear it away ahead of Munoz. Hughes, though, for Crystal Palace, who are showing something here with less than 15 minutes to play under darkening skies at Old Trafford. Kamada, Mitchell's ball across, Hughes with a sort of half-hit shot that was easily cleared away. Riyad, the substitute defender, actually goes back to Richards on the halfway line, and Campbell will give it back to Chris Richards. So that will obviously be a suspension for Lacroix as well, who will be out of that match against Tottenham on Thursday night.
I mean, it just goes to show, doesn't it, how important he is. Yes, they're disjointed because of that 10 men, but he's so important to them.
Sarr who was very influential in the early stages. His pass to Kamada, that was cleared away. Bruno Fernandes, but Richards just got a fortunate break there, so Palace have still got it. Riyad goes back to Henderson. Palace passing it out from the back. Then Riyad to Richards. Richards back to Hughes. Hughes has a look up and decides he's got the chance to carry the ball forward, which he is doing. Still going Hughes, but his pass is short to Mitchell, so Amad Diallo is able to come across and win the ball back for Manchester United. Let's go back to Craven Cottage again. Aaron Paul.
Fulham 2, Tottenham 1, 14 to go here, and we've just seen another chance for Fulham go begging. Tom Kearney, the ball dropping to him on his favoured left foot, edge of the area, just dragged a shot wide again. John, it's Fulham who are pressing and probing, hunting for a third. Fulham 2, Tottenham 1.
Still Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1 as well, so all of these matches still in the balance. 2-1 here at Old Trafford. Yes, I think there might be a shower not far away. We had a short, sharp shower just before the start of the match, and the atmosphere inside the ground, just a little lull at the moment, and it's the Palace fans to our right that you can hear as Manchester United have it in the central third of the field.
Yeah, you can feel the United fans just want that. They want that 2-goal gap. They're not quite sure yet. They are quite nervous, I think, the Man United fans at the moment.
I did just have a look earlier to see if Sir Jim Ratcliffe was here today, because this is the first match that Manchester United have played at Old Trafford since his controversial interview when he talked about the UK being colonised by immigrants. I don't think he is here. I certainly haven't seen him. But interestingly, it's just been shown by Gary Flintoff, our producer, that there was a banner, Manchester United banner, a flag with the red, white and black on it, and written across it, it says, these are Manchester United supporters, MUFC proudly colonised by immigrants. So some Manchester United supporters have had their say on that. Ball chipped over the top by Casemiro, lovely from Bruno Fernandes. Amad Diallo with a shot, but Henderson going down, full extension, but he didn't get the bend on it that he wanted with his left foot, and Henderson was able just to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, the vision, I mean, again, Casemiro around the corner ball for Mbeumo and for Bruno Fernandes. They both got onto it. I'm glad that Fernandes got onto it because Mbeumo was offside, and Fernandes' visions, he just puts it over his left shoulder, and Amad's behind him. Just he makes everything tick for Manchester United.
Doesn't he just? I know you have had dealings with him recently, haven't you, at the training ground, Bruno Fernandes, and he is a presence.
Yeah, he's a presence, and you know, he just makes sure that everything's right with the players, make sure the conduct's right with the players, and if something needs to be done, he'll get it done. If somebody within his squad aren't doing what they should be doing, he'll let them know as well. This is on and off the pitch as well, so I think he's lucky to be playing for a club like Man United, but I think Man United are very lucky to have someone like him.
31 years old now, and he's so important. That's his 7th goal of the season, 3 penalties that he scored. In total, the 41st penalty, which, as I said, was a Manchester United record, 41st penalty that he scored for the club. And there were rumours, wasn't there, that he might make the move to one of the moneyed leagues last summer. But I don't know. I think you would think whoever the Manchester United manager is, whether it's Michael Carrick or whoever, I think they'd be loath to lose him. Here is Dalot. Here is Bruno Fernandes, the man of the second half. Into the area, cleared away by Campbell. Hughes, as Hughes has passed it away, but he's given it away to Casemiro. Casemiro now to Bruno Fernandes in the knee, then back into the box. Casemiro, he might have been tripped there by Richards, but I think the ball had gone, actually. It had already rolled through to Henderson. And in any case, Casemiro didn't go down.
Yeah, he has this amazing knack, Casemiro, whether there's people out there think that his legs have gone or he's not going to do it anymore. He just has this footballing brain that just says, how can I get into an assist position, how can I make the pass, how can I score the goal. His knowledge of the game is very, very good and advanced of most.
Still, all 3 of these live Premier League matches are 2-1 to the home teams. 2-1 here to Manchester United, Nottingham Forest 2-1 down at Brighton, Tottenham 2-1 down at Fulham, as Cunha will try a shot from 23 yards, but all along the ground Henderson was able to go down, and that was a routine save as well, down to his left. Also Bradford Toulouse in the Super League we are following this afternoon. Matt Newsom.
Yeah, 7 minutes to the break, and it's 6 apiece here. Bradford replying to Anthony Marion's try on the back of back-to-back penalties. Bradford got the same, and a fine finish. Wonga Blake in the corner brings it all square. Bradford 6, Toulouse 6.
Free kick to Palace, 10 yards inside their own half. Palace with Hughes, who will find Mitchell as it bounces up to him, sort of neck height. He gets the ball under control, gives it back to Hughes. Now here's Sarr, strong again. Sarr against Menu. Then Gessan to Munoz. Back to Kamada. Just took a heavy touch on the edge of the area, and that presented it to Mazraoui, who was able to hit it away back towards the halfway line.
I think Munoz there coming in from the right-hand side. I think what he's got to do to Kamada's got to go round the outside of him to move the defenders, so Munoz has the time to take the shot. Got that one all wrong, the two of them. No communication again.
Palace again with the 10 men since the 56th minute, when Maxence Lacroix was sent off after a VAR check. He conceded a penalty. He was sent off for denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and since then Manchester United have scored the 2 goals, and Palace are winning a free kick in the central third. Xerxes is going to be the next man, Joshua Xerxes, and also Aidan Heaven coming on, so a double change for Manchester United. Michael Carrick in that thigh-length black coat, just standing, just puts his hand on the back of Heaven's shirt. Palace with the free kick, though. They won't make the changes just yet. So Kamada to take this. Manchester United holding a line on the edge of their penalty area. It's actually played square to Mitchell, the free kick, and then Mitchell drives it through the middle and takes it on and shoots, and it curls away over the top of the crossbar. If Tyrick Mitchell had scored that, that would certainly have been a contender for the best goal of his career. Right, Kamada coming off from the midfield, so both Wharton and Kamada have been replaced, and Jeremy Pino is coming on for the latter stages. So I think Oliver Glasner is saying here, look, we're going to go for it, we're going to try and get something out of this with that change. And now the 2 changes for Manchester United. It's Harry Maguire who is coming off. Surprised by that, dear? Has he got a problem?
I am surprised by that. He's just strolling off. He's clapping the fans. He doesn't seem to be limping or in any distress at all. He's had a good game. He's had a very good game. Very composed under pressure. Good leader back there as well. Done well, Harry Maguire. Doesn't look happy though to be coming off.
I mean, he has sort of pulled up the front of his shirt, and I think there's something not right, because the way that he's talking to Michael Carrick there, it's as if Michael Carrick has asked him what the deal is. Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe he keeps pointing to his eyes, and maybe it's his vision, or
maybe he's taking a bang as well.
Something like
Lost
that.
Luke Shaw in the first half.
Yeah.
Now Harry Maguire going off.
And he's going straight down the tunnel, Harry Maguire, with the physio.
Definitely he's not right, is he? So we'll be asking Michael Carrick about that later. Both Shaw and Maguire. Manchester United's midweek match is at St James's Park on Wednesday night, as Jeremy Pino nips in because Dalot slipped. Here's Gessan, who's scored in the last 2 matches for Crystal Palace, on loan from one of your old clubs, Aston Villa. Evan Gessan. Palace go back into their own half. Now Munoz on the right-hand side. They're just suggesting here that Palace, even with the 10 men, might be capable of having a strong finish in the match. But as they push forward, of course, that may well offer up opportunities for Manchester United at the other end.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to have to pull out that touch from Xerxes there. I mean, the ball gets cleared by the keeper and it's in the air for a good 2 or 3 seconds. Xerxes holding off Richards, the centre half, and he takes it down impeccably to bring his teammates into play. It was worth a mention.
It was. Highlights on Match of the Day tonight. Whether that will make it in or not, I'm not sure.
Well, I hope so for him, to be fair. He hasn't had many highlights this year. Let's get as many as we can for him.
Match of the Day, BBC One tonight, anytime on the iPlayer, and the goals and clips you'll be able to see from 8 o'clock tonight, which will obviously feature Arsenal-Chelsea. That you will hear with us on 5 Live from 4:30. As Manchester United take possession. Heaven playing it up towards Amad Diallo. Mitchell tight on him, but the wrong side. Casemiro's able to take it on. Then Richards steps in. Might have taken an arm across the face from Amad Diallo. It's Palace though. Pino's passed way over the top of Guessant, who won't reach that, and the ball will just bounce harmlessly over the white line now for a goal kick.
Yeah, but Guessant's got to go for that. I mean, yeah, he's overhit it, but he's got a lot of grass to go into. The ball's got a lot of time to slow down, and you've got to make those bad balls into good ones, especially when you're a goal down as well. You've got to really work a little bit harder.
73,934 people inside Old Trafford. Still 2-1 Manchester United. It is still Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1, and it is still Fulham 2, Tottenham 1. Goal kick. Time running out in all three matches. Just over 2 minutes of the 90 to play here at Old Trafford, as Guessant is able to bring it down, but in steps Cunha, passes it back to Lamans. Manchester United on course here to make it 6 wins out of 7 under Michael Carrick in this spell as the Manchester United manager. Mainu inside his own half, gets in amongst the thick of things, wins it back, then it's played forward now. Bruno Fernandes, he's got Xerxes ahead of him, he is able to find the pass to Xerxes, but that forces him down towards the dead ball line. Nevertheless, he finds Mainu. Bruno Fernandes again, who is full of zip and energy. Bruno Fernandes, then Casemiro to the edge of the box. Little Amad Diallo just runs it away. Then it's given away by Dalot, and then Hughes and Casemiro in a 50-50 challenge. The ball bounces clear, and Crystal Palace are able to play it forward. Mitchell to Sarr. Sarr now, this could open up, but Aidan Hammond comes across, puts his hands on Sarr, fouls him. Sarr immediately spins away, appeals to the referee, and out comes the yellow card for the recently arrived Heaven.
Yeah, good play from Heaven, to be fair, because he knows that if Sarr goes past him, he's got the ball past him, all he has to do is just hold on to his shirt or his collar, just making sure that Sarr doesn't go past him. That is a good place to give away a free kick and take the yellow for your team. Slow it down.
Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 1, but a free kick for Palace. So Richards has been sent up, Riyad and Canvo as well, all three of the central defenders now up there to join all of the players in either red or white on the edge of the box. Pino's going to take the free kick for Palace, which he does, delivers it at an angle, and it drops over Dalot, and Richards can't get there, and it's all the way through for a goal kick. And in the 90th minute, Manchester United leading by 2-1. Still Brighton 2, Nottingham Forest 1, still Fulham 2, Tottenham 1, and Tottenham heading for another defeat. In the Super League, Bradford-Toulouse, Matt Newsom.
Yeah, half-time in this one, 10-6 after Bradford went ahead early on. Roman Milne's goal. Anthony Marion put Toulouse ahead, 6-2. Try for Wonga Blake, and then Ethan Ryan just before half-time, putting the game back in Bradford's favour. Half-time, it's Bradford 10, Toulouse 6.
Groans here at Old Trafford because the 8 minutes of added time have been indicated. It feels